X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who spit facts online all the time. Can you see it? All the ones who drag my name every single day. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? They keep saying you don't have what it takes to carve out your own name underneath the shadows of gods. And I keep waiting for the day disbelievers say I flew way too close to the sun. I wait, but it never really comes. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A force that compels all to rebel from all right shackled minds. Why do they just stand there against when they fall from the battles I have overcome? You feel it, feel the cope and the seething tone that they make while I stand up, man among gods. And I keep thinking with my mill, shooting ropes in my cold that faces towards the sun. They hate, but I'm sitting comfy with their mom. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A force that compels all to rebel from all that shackled mind. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A force that compels all to rebel from all right shackled minds. It's you and me, your mom, it's me. I'll take another hit from my name. You'll see now, watch me right now, punch your face down. Let me show you how.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It is so good to see all of you. How are you all doing on this lovely, fine Friday? Hi there, War Penguin, Trans Daughter of Water, good to see you as always. Perry Icefire, good to see you in chat. Delancer, nice to have you here as always. Summer Star, what's up? Ride the Rails, good to see ya. Revan, welcome, good to see ya. Astronaut Lad 172, how are you? Adante Asai, good to see ya. You're a white name now. Hello, hello. Gabriel Costa, hello, good to see you over in YouTube chat. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Lefty Jenna, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're all having a good day. I woke up really early this morning, so I do have a little bit of grogginess in my eyes, I'll admit, but overall, I feel pretty awake. Remember to listen to my name and hydrate? Yeah, I should take another sip of water, you're not wrong. That's yummy. One sec. There we go. Hey chat, guess who got accepted into university? Hell yeah, Ride the Rails. I'm happy to hear that. I assume that means you. So yeah, congratulations. That's really good news. I'm happy to hear that. Good for you, friend. Nice, nice, nice. All right, everybody. Hey, I'm curious. What country are you watching from right now if you are here watching the stream and you don't mind saying? USA, Germany, wow. UK, Portugal. A medical center, I'll assume, in somewhere in America. California, North Carolina. USE. The Great White North of Canada. The US and the Midwest. Sorry, I'm very sorry about that. Florida, oh, I'm even more sorry. Northern Ireland, nice. Colorado, Texas. Burundi. For some reason, I'd be surprised if that was the case, but I mean, maybe it is, you know? Maybe I've got, like, fans just everywhere. That'd be crazy. I guess I kind of do. I have a pretty broad audience. It's kind of surprising, but I hope that's a good thing. I hope that means I've got universal appeal. You would hope that's good news. You are pretty based. Aw, thank you, Random Bird 380. I appreciate that. What's up, Bazooka Horse? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Hello there. Jade Kairuna. Hello, welcome. Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. Hello there, Helpful Doge 12. Welcome to the stream. Tetley. Hello, hello. Phoebe G. Good to see you. Welcome. Please consume irresponsibly. Graphite J. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. How are you? All right, everybody. So, it is time for a nice, you know, we're just doing a fun politics stream. You know, I was going to do a call-in stream today, but I don't really have it in me today. I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty tired. And if I'm going to do a call-in stream, I want it to be like a marathon of a stream. You know what I'm saying? So we might end up doing a watch party tonight, but it kind of depends on how many people we've got here and enthused about the idea. You know what I mean? Remember, chat, like the stream on YouTube to support Zan? Yes, don't forget, if you are watching right now, please consider liking the stream. Also, based on the title of this stream, I have a very slight feeling YouTube may suppress this live stream in people's sub-feeds. So, dropping a like on it certainly can't hurt, especially on a stream like this with a title like this. So yeah. I appreciate it if you guys send some support in the form of those free likes my way. Really do help. Speaking of which... Alright, everybody. You know what time it is? Oh, hey, War Penguin. It is time for another quail video, okay? It is time for us to take another look into the world of raising quail, and for you guys to learn about the next stage in quail development. We have now upgraded from the egg hatching stage, incubating and hatching, to what you do with them once they're little baby chicks, because there's a little bit of a process there to teaching these little birds how to exist.
Hey guys, welcome back to Katernik's Corner. I just had...
By the way, if you want to donate, subscribe, or gift a sub on my website, any financial support you guys send my way, no matter how, goes to helping me, A, keep the lights on and a roof over my head, and B, we're saving up to do quail content. So if you want to see me do cool quail content, tell you cool things about quail, make fun videos with them, you know, just kind of give you vlogs about what it's like to raise them, and have them as pets producing eggs and giving you like an infinite source of food almost from their eggs, then yeah, consider donating. It really helps. But if you just want to support me for free, that's crazy. For free, consider just dropping a like. It really does help.
Had some eggs hatch out last night. I got a pretty decent hatch rate, so I thought I would make a real quick video, show you my incubator setup, and we'll get the birds moved to the brooder. You can see how I set up my brooders. Just a little bit about hatch rates. Shipped eggs, you're obviously not going to get
ARC is spelled
as good
ARC.
a hatch rate as you would on your own eggs that you collected from your hens. Shipped eggs, if you get a 50% hatch rate, you're doing good.
These are freshly hatched quails.
I have had as high as 65, 70%, but that's not the norm. My own eggs, I've had 100% hatch rates. averages probably between 70 and 90, but I have had 100% hatch rate. Basically, the incubator that I'm using is a homemade model that I built. It's made out of styrofoam foam insulation board that you get at Home Depot, and we are going to be doing a video on this, on how to build this particular model.
Interesting.
It can hold 240 eggs. Everything to build this
That's
is available
insane.
from Home Depot or any of the other big box
Okay, I don't need that many eggs. I just want to have 8 quail. I don't need that many. That's many more than I need.
stores. Okay, so let's take a second to open up the incubator, and I'll show you how the setup looks inside. Basically,
look
it's
like
got 2
Hammond from
shelves.
Jurassic Park.
Right now, the top shelf
Aw.
is empty.
Is that a stove burner that's like warming this up? Jesus, that's so cool.
And the bottom shelf has the hatching box in it. But normally I can fit 2 egg trays in here that each hold 120 eggs. And I can set 2 boxes and hatch out 240 eggs if I ever got that lucky. Okay, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. Here's a shot of the chicks inside the hatching box.
There's
the wire
some down
laying
below
on top
in there.
is the sensor probe from the temperature regulator, and that little metal probe off to the right there is about mid-screen is a probe from a thermometer, so I can read the temperature from the outside of the box.
They've got the zoomies.
Okay, so let's go ahead and slide this box out. We'll take them over to the brooder and count out the birds and see what kind of a hatch rate we got. And I will show you my brooder setup. What I like to do is take this hatching box and set it right inside the brooder. That way when I take the top off, I'm not gonna get chicks jumping out all over the place and trying to escape. So let me go ahead and see if I can get these guys in here.
This is a 2-person job. You need an extra pair of hands
Oh,
there.
yeah, we got a decent hatch here today. There's 2.
The quails eat their shells,
I'm not gonna be
right?
able to count them
They
'cause they're all
might.
gonna jump out on me.
I think you might have to crush them up and put it into their food to give them that extra calcium, but that's a waste of time. You can just give them high calcium feed if you want to get them like a high calcium dose right when they're born, which isn't really necessary unless they've got some sort of bone issue, like they're bow-legged or something like that. Like if that happens,
Basically, I just put them on.
they'll grow into it, and it can cause them problems later in life. So sometimes, depending on how they're born, if they have like a bad issue out of the egg, you have to give them a certain diet change. Like if they're really small and weak, you might have to give them high protein. If their bones aren't good and they're fucked up, high calcium. That's generally how it goes.
Pine shavings, and they'll stay on pine shavings and in this brooder for a week to 10 days. And right around 10 days, I will pull them out of the brooder and put them in a grow out pen. That may sound early to get them off the light, but I'm down here in Southwest Florida, and our temperatures run between 90 and 95 pretty much every day. Now, obviously, in the winter, I couldn't do that, but in the summertime and late fall, I can get away with it. What I use for a brooder is a 106 quart Sterilite plastic tub. I build a top out of 1x2 furring strips, which I staple 1/2-inch hardware cloth to the top.
Cool.
For a heat lamp, I just use a standard, I think it's a 8-inch clamp lamp with a 100-watt bulb to start out with. And usually about the time they get to 5 days to 7 days old, I might drop that bulb down to a 75 or a 60 watt, just depending on the shop temperatures. And as far as feed, what I'll do is I'll take the regular Game Bird starter, but I'll run it
He's got a gaming PC behind him.
through a blender for the first couple days, just to make the pieces a little bit smaller
Yeah.
and easier for the chicks to ingest.
Yeah, they don't know how to eat. It has to literally be a powder for them.
I put it on a paper towel in the brooder for the first day, and once they eat that, then I'll put it in a regular chick feeder and feed them that. Okay, and as far as water, I use the standard plastic water with the small basin on it, just to keep the chicks out of the water so they don't get wet and chilled. I
Yep.
do mix
They
electrolyte
can drown.
in with their water, These chicks will be on electrolyte.
Like this one, I would move just in case it's gonna drown, because they're so dumb they will just drown. They don't know how to not drown.
From day
Okay, it's
one
okay.
till the time they're about 6 weeks old, and then they'll go in with my regular grow outs and be on every other day electrolyte. But I always keep my chicks on a vitamin electrolyte supplement while they're growing out.
That's good to know.
And I have this little ceramic tile that I set inside the cage on top of the pine shavings, and I put the water on top of that. That'll keep them from kicking shavings into the water, and I don't have to clean it out as much.
It's a good video. It's a good video. I'm excited to do quail content. My quail content's going to be so much more exciting and high energy than his. I mean, I like his videos. They're informative and everything, but I'm excited to bring my YouTuber my YouTuber sort of energy and personality to the table with the animal raising content. I know, they're just like you for real, chat. They're dumb little birds. Okay. What's going on in the realm of... You know what? Let's warm up a little bit before we get into segments. I feel like it's too early to start segments, you know what I mean? It's too early. What's Daily Dose of Internet been up to? It's been like a week since we watched an episode of Daily Dose of Internet. What's going on in the world of the web? Police training is insane.
Hello,
is
everyone.
the title of this one. Okay. All right, let's do a little bit of a warm up. Let's wake up a little bit. You know how it is. I got to get the crust out of my eyes. Going live is a bit like waking up. You need a little bit to, really wake up. If that makes sense.
Everyone, this is your Daily Dose of Internet. Many police academies have new recruits get tasered, so they know what it feels like.
Oh, yeah. She fucking hit every note that there is. She's now entered a decibel that is, like, below that which is audible by humans. She's actually still screaming there. Like, after this point, only dogs can hear.
No.
What is he doing? Oh, I've seen this video. I hate it. Oh my god, how calloused is this guy's hand? That he can sand shavings
This guy
of wood.
forgot that he left his phone on the floor.
Oh, rip your phone, bro. Oh, man, goodbye. Your day's ruined. Like, nothing to listen to while you work out anymore, either. Oh, and the battery just exploded. Oh, he ruptured the battery. Oh, no, they really need to evacuate that gym. Those chemicals, those fumes are super toxic. They need to evacuate that building. I'm pretty certain that's, like, toxic fumes.
This
That's
police
the dome.
officer
The
accidentally
big, like, sphere in Vegas.
went after the wrong guy.
Dude. I'd be so fucking mad. Oh my god, he pit maneuvered the wrong guy? That's a cop! He pit maneuvered another
The
cop!
police officer had no idea he stopped an undercover cop that was trying to chase down another suspect.
That goes so hard. Aw. Don't make fun of the kid.
This water pump
He
sounds
can't
like
defend
someone
himself.
singing some
He's a
heavy
kid.
metal.
Oh my god, it's corn.
Thailand had
cats are
a
dumb.
massive earthquake yesterday,
Dude, this
and
shit
this guy
was
was in the
terrifying.
pool when it happened.
There was another building where the water was, like, coming off the side of the roof. Imagine being in that pool.
This guy
Fuck.
found an incredibly smart spider.
Starts here at the mirror, works its way down to the door. Now that seems pretty unstable, right? But he's got a pebble weighing down the entire web so it doesn't blow away. That is crazy, dude.
The ocean waves were pushing air under the sidewalk, causing it to breathe.
What?
crazy, dude.
The ocean waves were pushing air under the sidewalk, causing it to breathe.
So that's what that is when it happens. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that happens in my backyard. Didn't know what that was. There's no ocean around, so I'm just a little confused why that would be happening, but I guess that's why. That unironically looks like there's something under there that wants to escape.
This guy got himself a functional tattoo to help with his job.
That...
That is the end of this video, or we hope you enjoyed.
I mean... Here's the problem. What if he loses the finger? And, like, at least then he'll be able to figure out, like, well, here's how much of the finger I have left. Based on how many notches he had when he started. That's funny. God. Hold on, let's see, what's the second newest thing they put out? God, I am behind on Daily Dose of Internet, fellas. 4 days ago. Jesus, what is this one? Random tire flies off car. Yeah, fuck that.
This
Final
is your
Destination
Daily
ass
Dose of
shit.
Internet.
Oh my god, you just lost a wheel.
He was so excited to show Grandma his new tattoo.
Hate that. Crisp?
Kai Gregory Thomas Morrison, have you lost your mind? Kai Gregory Thomas Morrison, have you lost your mind?
Why is it that every time I cook, my daggone dogs hide? What is that about, guys? What is that?
What is Rosa Parks?
Oh my god, the dogs hide when she cooks. They don't know how to lie. Dogs don't know how to lie. Oh no. Oh no. Her boyfriend's like, oh no, your cooking's amazing. I love it when you cook. Ha 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 ha. And like slowly like scraping the food onto the dog's bowl. And the dog is like, you motherfucker.
Famous for?
Who?
Rosa Parks.
Never met the bloke.
No, but what's she famous for?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of Rosa Parks?
Nah.
You never heard of her?
Nah.
This person was dog sitting, but didn't know the release
Amazing.
word for the dog to start eating.
Okay? Good boy? Take it?
Why wouldn't they tell the dog sitter?
Yes. Food. Good boy. Go. Go. Oh, it's go. Go.
One of my subscribers has a pretty interesting
Okay.
professor.
If your name is Paul, you are named after this guy. And if you say, my dad's name was Paul, so actually I'll say, shut up, kid, you're missing the big picture. This is the Paul.
Do you ever feel like you're being watched?
I like that professor. If professors in college were like that all across the board and that's how they presented their classes, I would love it. Always watching you. What the fuck? What? What? The monkey doesn't care. Like, this nightmare fuel is approaching it, and the monkey just goes, get out of here. That's a giant fucking cricket, dude. What the hell? That's a famous video. I've seen this a million times. This video's
it took me like 4
overused.
years, but I finally got permission to share this iconic video.
My boy in here getting fitted for my wedding.
I'm gonna be a little slimmer by then, though.
I've seen this video.
I'll lose some of this.
Yeah.
188 down there.
Yeah.
All right, you wanna take this on back?
I saw this on Twitter. That's a good one. Oh, kitty. Cats love sand.
This is why you don't
I guess
park
it's
on
where
the
they're
streets
from
of New
is
York
where
City.
there's sand, right? Like, house cats are evolved, or not evolved, like, bred from, like, little desert cats, right? So it kind of makes sense that cats fucking love sand and they want to shit in sand, you know? Like, that, like, a sandbox would be an environment they would probably feel most comfortable in, you would think, right? No, they evolved? They did not evolve, they were bred. This is life in the city. Just don't have a car. Is having a car really worth it? Is having a car really worth it? Having this happen. You live in the city. You can walk everywhere. Oh. Oh. Man, it's about time the birds started fighting back against outdoor cats. Oh, this cat's not outdoors, but still.
That is the end of this video.
The bird
I
played
hope you
dead there?
enjoyed.
I think the bird played dead there. I don't think the bird could have died from anything the cat did there. I think the bird decided to give up the fight and pretend to be dead. Alright. That was a good amount of daily dose of internet. No one really tried to breed them? They didn't? We just kind of evolved them on our, like, without realizing it, I guess. Okay. Huh. I didn't know that. All I knew is they originally came from, like, little desert cats. My favorite... Okay, guys. One day, when we have, like, supreme cloning technology, I'm getting one of these as a pet. I am getting one of these as a fucking pet, dude. If I ever own a cat again, it'll be one of these.
The smallest feline in the world. A rusty spotted cat.
I would name it Rusty.
He may look like a kitten.
Sounds
Still
like
fit
it.
in the palm of your hand. But this little male is very nearly fully grown. He'll soon be setting off on a solitary
He's a big
life,
man.
fending entirely for himself.
What a ferocious predator. An apex predator.
What he lacks in size, he makes up for
In
daring.
small. Nothing hunts these because they're just so cute. React to Casual Geographic cats. I think Casual Geographic's videos are age restricted. I don't know if
Young cats
that's
are
allowed.
born curious. It's how
Or
they
maybe
learn
not.
about their world.
Oh.
Even if it can get them into trouble.
Oh. It got spooked.
Straight
They're not
away,
age restricted?
he
Okay,
puts his
cool.
super senses through their paces.
He jumped good. He jumped so good. Look at him. I
His
want
eyes
one.
are 6 times more powerful than our own.
I can tell. Look
and
at
sensitive
him.
to the slightest movement.
I want one. I must have one. I must have a little guy. I want to name it Rusty. And I want to have a little rusty spotted cat. That's my dream. When I have my own rusty spotted cat named Rusty, I will be happy. Have I seen sand cats? I believe I have. Let me see if I can bring up a video of some. Yeah, these guys are cute. Do you want to see... Hold on. Let me show you where I want to go one day. This would be an amazing place to do a, like, stream vlog. This place is now even better to go to since COVID because there's a lot less people going there, so the cats are way more attracted to the people that do go. There are thousands of cats on this island. I fucking hate cats. I like cats quite a bit. Most of my chatters like cats, so I think this looks like paradise to them. It's just an island you go to, and you just play with the cats. They expect food, but they'll let you pet them. They're friendly for the most part. Imagine the hairballs, yeah. This is probably heaven for a lot of you guys. Look at all the cats just walking around the street like they're people. They're part of the crowd. Oh, there's so many different types. Yeah, Pussy Island. That's actually the English translation for the island's name, Pussy Island. Surprisingly, it had that name before the cats. They neutered 10 cats. You gotta start somewhere. The cats outnumber the humans greatly. There is not a mouse on that island. Oh, don't chase the cats. Be nice to them. They're just little guys. How inbred do you think, like, half these cats are, though? Because, like, couldn't have been that, like, big of a population they started off with to begin with, like, early on. So you got to imagine, like, for them to be this populous now, there has to be a fair amount of inbreeding going on. Yeah, that island is Alabama for cats. Sweet home Alabama. Alright. I think it's probably about time we started our first segment of the day. What do you think, chat? Let's see, where to start, where to start. Okay. The segment scroll. I literally just look in the scroll and it tells me what to cover next. I don't know what to tell you. I found this random scroll on the street when I was like 18 years old. It told me to do political content and to cover whatever appears on the scroll when I unfurl it and look at it, okay? I don't question the scroll. I do what the scroll tells me. Where'd you get it? The street. I found it sitting in the sidewalk. Actually, I was sitting in class and I saw it fall from the sky. And I went outside to pick it up. I took it home and then I looked at it. Yeah, I'm pondering my scroll. Let me ponder my scroll, guys. What do you mean? Why haven't you used it in years? I've been using it this whole time. I just haven't been showing it. I'm finally ready to show you guys my scroll. I'm finally ready to wizard post. Actually, I'm more like Witcher posting. Look, I got my Witcher medallion. I found it when I was looking through my stuff unpacking yesterday. Okay. One sec, chat. Okay, we are ready. You all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. one of the websites that kind of exists right now is like this weird purgatory between being just a general degen streaming site that's meant to have way less rules, allow gambling, and just generally be a lot less loose against everything other than sexual content, basically achieving the dream of your average dude bro Twitch viewer. Basically, Kick has become the new D-Live if you were around back when that first became a thing. And you've got everyone from, like, Andrew Tate and Sneeko, your, like, far-right figures on there, all the way to just, like, random nobodies who are just trying to start off with some, like, edgelord stream, or even gambling YouTubers. It's a very... or streamers, not YouTubers. It's a very broad category of people that are on there, but across the board, there does tend to be one through line, which is just reprehensibility as a person. And I feel like this story kind of brings that fact to the forefront more than ever. Young Kick streamer Kizzy faces backlash for harassing people on stream. His channel goes offline later. For those who don't know, there's a very popular trend when it comes to Kick streaming, where you do IRL streams that involve being a public nuisance, harassing people, making a scene, fucking up people's days, and maybe even provoking them to attack you or, you know, get angry at you on stream to try and siphon content off of random strangers in public that are just enjoying their lives. I feel like this can only really be attributed to by this derangement that comes from the internet and the confidence you get from having a fan base of yes men. Once you've got enough internet people saying that your base, no matter how cringe whatever you do is, you don't care if going out in public and making a fool of yourself is embarrassing, because compared to the, 100 people that you might be embarrassed in front of in real life, you're getting the praise of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people online. And so you get into this deranged idea that the internet matters more than the real world insofar as what people think of you. And I feel that's what motivates a lot of this thought process, even for a kid. And this is a kid. On April 3rd, 2024, a Kick streamer named Kizzy gained attention on social media after videos of him harassing people during his broadcast were posted. For those unaware, Kizzy appeared as a guest on controversial internet personality Ragnesh Neon's live stream on March 14th, 2024, and his altercation with the content creator went viral. The Kick streamers engaged in a heated back and forth during which Kizzy threatened to assault Neon and his girlfriend Sam Frank, saying, "Shut the fuck up." This is like a 12-year-old, by the way, that said this. So I need you to imagine this in, like, the squeakiest, most balls haven't dropped yet, like, angry 12-year-old voice you can imagine, okay?
"Shut the fuck up. I'll beat the shit out of you and your fat girlfriend. That fat shit, I'll smack her in the face too, bitch."
Neon responds, "On God, I'll dox your entire family. What's your name?"
"You're not doing shit. Shut the fuck up, bro. Suck my dick, bro. You're a bitch. You fucking pussy. Kizzy, bro. My name is Kizzy. Kizzy is my name, bruh."
After hearing this, Neon threatened Kizzy with doxing and sexual assault. Okay, so they just threatened to rape each other back and forth, I see. As you can tell, the Kick streaming sphere is not exactly a group of good people, to say the least. Like, their go-to insult is to threaten to sexually assault each other. Like, the 12-year-old goes up to, like, what? Like, a 20-year-old threatens to sexually assault the guy and his girlfriend, and then the guy responds, "I'll sexually assault you." What the fuck? What are these people? Earlier today, April 3rd, 2024, several clips from Kizzy's IRL stream circulated on Twitter during which the Kick streamer could be seen harassing a few individuals. Prominent esports personality Jake Lucky shared a 25-second video showing the young content creator engaging in a physical altercation with one person. Commenting on Kizzy's shenanigans, Jake Lucky tweeted, "Might be time to raise the streaming age requirement." So this is the first of the big tweets that went viral about this little shithead. So let's take a look. It's only about 25 seconds long, but here's an example of what he's like. I think this is him. Or maybe that's him. I think that might be him.
What are you doing? Yeah, what up? Yeah, what up? Yeah, what up? Watch out! Watch out!
Damn!
Let's go!
Oh, damn!
like, I'm not getting old, right? Like, these are little kids, right? Like you guys see it too. Like, these are like, they look like they're 12 to me. Am I actually getting old? Or are they just, like, actually that young looking? Yeah, no, these are, like, little kids with, like, a massive amount of viewers watching them fight in the street. I mean, yeah, we would do this stuff when we were kids, but, like, not to an audience of thousands online of adults.
What up?
They're squeakers, yeah. Oh my gosh. It's just so trashy, you know? Quote, if you touch my phone, I'm actually going to do something. Kick streamer Kizzy harasses an individual by taking their food and gets confronted. On the same day, April 3rd, 2024, Twitter user Drama Alert posted a 58-second video in which Kick streamer Kizzy was seen tampering with and grabbing another individual's food while dining at a restaurant. He remarked,
taking that bitch's food.
The one person eventually confronted Kizzy, demanding that the content creator and his cameraman stop filming them. Put your hand in my food again. I'm throwing all of your fucking, the person assaulting the Kick streamer's cameraman. Don't put your hand on my food again. Don't do that. You don't do that to people. Stop filming me. Who the fuck are you? All right, we're going to go ahead and watch this video. Apparently, he ended up having somebody, you know, give him some shit. I will say there is a certain point where I feel like, man, I don't think hitting kids is okay, but this, all I'm saying is this kid probably needs to get smacked in the face really hard by his mom. You know? Like, this kid needs to have a much more strict parent or parents. Like, this is I don't believe that, like, hitting your kids helps them. However, this type of behavior has to stop. And I feel like some level of physical discipline might be necessary when your kid is acting as, like, an actual monster, going out there and ruining people's day and gleefully using the shield of being a kid to protect himself from consequences while being fully cognizant of the consequences of his actions and why they are wrong.
This guy right here.
I've seen this clip. He stuck his finger in her sauce and grabbed her food.
Taking that bitch food.
Tell him.
You can go fuck yourself. What the fuck?
Put your hand in my food again, and I'm throwing all of your phone.
Now I fucking flinched when she grabbed at the camera. No lie. I fucking flinched. Her hand, she has lightning reflexes.
Throwing all of your phone.
Hey, you're not touching our phone.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that to people.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think
This is Miami.
You're a nobody.
It's a lot.
Dude, this is Miami too. I recognize this street. I know where this is. This is Miami. Dude, fucking hell. Right now, I literally moved away from Florida, and it feels like in 3 years from the time I left Florida, Miami became the center hotspot for all of the red pill right-wing shithead streamers. I think they just go wherever the next GTA game is going to be. Like, unironically, like the red pill right-wing, like, Zoomer fade type YouTubers and streamers. They just go wherever the next GTA game's gonna be. Used to be in LA, so they were all in LA. Now it's gonna be in Miami, so they all moved to Miami. Obviously, you've got Fresh and Fit. I think the Tates are going to... Well, not the Tates. The, what's his name? Aiden Ross lives in Miami. Sneeko, I think, lives in Miami as well now, too. Like, God, I forget what they're called. The Whatever Podcast is in Miami, I believe. Pretty much all these right-wing, red pill podcast streamers have set up shop in Miami, Florida. Obviously, Florida is kind of a right-wing, like, stronghold, but at the same time, they're in Miami, which is perhaps the most progressive part of Florida. Moist Critical lives in Miami. No, he doesn't. He lives in Tampa. I love when people outside of Florida just immediately assume, oh, YouTuber lives in Florida, must be Miami. No, I know where he lives. It's Tampa. He is a fellow Tampa boy. Me and Critical are from the same part of Florida.
You can't stop it. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Give me the phone. Now you're not touching my fucking phone. Touch my phone, I'm gonna actually do something about it. Are you gonna beat me up? Back the fuck up. Back the fuck. I will. I want to. How old are you? 5? You think I give a flying fuck?
And I mean, you have to understand the reason why the kid is doing this is because he wants people to do what this lady is doing. Because now if she hits this kid or does anything or continues to even behave this way, all these bystanders just see a grown woman seeming to assault a young boy. So this young boy, he is fully cognizant and self-aware of A, how negative the actions he is doing are, how bad they are and how they hurt people and how he's fucking with people and that they're wrong. He is also fully aware of the fact that kids are generally given a little bit of, like, social wiggle room in their behavior, especially by strangers in public, and he is fully aware of that. So he understands that he can break all of these societal boundaries and social norms and get away with it, because if anybody confronts him, to the average bystander, unless they're really clued in on the context, exactly what this kid wants to happen is going to happen. A crowd of people is going to come to defend him. And all of a sudden, the person he was harassing is going to look like the bad guy. He wants that to happen so bad, for this lady to, like, slap him, and then for everybody to crowd up on her and be like, why'd you just hit that kid? Why'd you just hit that kid? He is so desperate to get that reaction out of her. That's why he continues to threaten her. He is trying to get an audience of people to believe that she's the bad guy. This kid's gonna have a short life. I wonder how long this kid thinks this type of behavior can, like, last. He's in Florida, and once he gets to be, like, I'm gonna say he's, like, 13 at the oldest here. I'm gonna guess the second he starts getting facial hair and his voice drops, he's gonna legitimately be at the threat of cops getting called and showing up, or a man hitting him and there not being a problem. Like, once he gets a little bit older, I'm talking like really soon, like a year or two tops, if he keeps he's either gonna have to stop doing this and his channel's gonna fall off and he's not gonna be in anyone anymore, or a man is going to hit him. Like, a man is not going to realize that he's a kid and is just going to see what he did and just hit him hard. And he's going to be in for a wake-up call. This is not behavior that you can just do in public and get away with it for long. Famously, I think a good example of how this type of behavior tends to go is another case of right-wingers engaging in this type of behavior in the streets of Miami. Andy Worski Stay Back video. So basically, Andy Worski and his friends were walking down the streets of Miami doing a TTS IRL stream, where every time they got a notification for a donation or whatever, it would, like, read out the donations, and everyone was obviously donating just slurs, so that it would read out the N-word over and over, like, just different slurs and whatnot. And eventually somebody got kind of pissed off about this and, like, confronted them and told them, like, shut that thing up. It's, like, blaring slurs loudly, like, in this restaurant. Will you fucking stop? And they decide to play, like, tough guy against this random dude and, like, go, oh yeah, we're tough guys, we're tough guys. Turns out this dude had a bunch of friends, and, like, they start to get cornered and surrounded, and it ends up devolving into this clip where this is the guy that's approaching Andy Worski and his buddy. Andy Worski, I think, has pepper spray out right now. His buddy ends up pulling a gun and getting arrested after this. This guy doesn't get arrested. Andy Worski's buddy does. But this is Andy Worski holding the camera and the one screaming with the nasally, wheezy voice. And for those who don't know, Andy Worski is like an old-time far-right conservative YouTuber. He used to be like a left-wing anti-SJW, and then overnight, pretty much, he got the nickname Andy Race Worski. So yeah, masks can slip. You know how it is.
Stay back! Stay back! Stay the fuck back!
Oh, this is a meme edit. Damn it. Okay. I want to find the original video. Is the original video up? I bet Andy Worski strikes that shit down. Nope. Man, the internet sucks now. The internet just sucks now. I bet that's the only clip that exists of it anymore, too. Anyway, Kizzy responded by threatening to insult the woman. He said,
"Who do you think you are? You are a nobody. Who the fuck are you? No, you're not touch my fucking phone. If you touch my phone, I'm actually gonna do something. Get back the fuck up."
The individual responds, "What are you going to do? Beat me up?"
"I will."
She has like a 1.5 feet on him. At the time of writing, Kizzy's channel, No Kizzy CSP on Kick, is now inaccessible. So the channel has been taken down. There is a happy ending to this. But I need you guys to know, this is not the only streamer of this type. There are a lot of streamers in this sphere that do this type of content, and it is beyond fucking cancer. I've never even gone to Kick before. I've never been on the website before, but I'm sure if we opened it up right now, we could find some goddamn degenerate-ass content that I'm pretty sure I couldn't even show on my stream because it's not allowed on YouTube. There's a reason why they stream here and not on YouTube or Twitch. Freaking awful. Freaking awful. Well, hey, if you enjoyed this segment, I do want to ask you guys, consider dropping a like. Every single thumbs up on my videos, segments, streams, etc. really does go a long way. It basically forces YouTube to push my content out in the algorithm to more people, so please consider doing so. And of course, if you want to support me in a variety of other ways, you can do so by donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, donating through any of the donation links down below in the description, or supporting me just by subscribing or commenting down below. Seriously, your comments, your likes, and your subs, they really mean a lot. They're totally free, and they help the channel a lot, so thank you to everybody who does that. What do you guys think of that segment? I feel like it came out pretty good. That was an official Xander Hall segment indeed. Alright. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Good to see a lot of people coming into chat. Welcome. All right. What does the ancient scroll say I must do next? I mark off the segments I've done, Lucky Otter. God, my nose will not stop itching. Ugh. Did I miss the Nazi? The Nazi animal abuser guy? No, you have not. We have not covered that yet. Yes, the Nazi is untouched by me for now. But I'm gonna be touching him all over in a moment. Okay. But yeah, seriously, if you're watching and you enjoy my content, leave a like. It really does help. I really do appreciate it. Seriously, guys. Your support, it is overwhelming and very generous and very kind and very appreciated. But with that said, let's get into the next topic. You all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. Oh boy! Nightmare headline! Yay! Exactly the horrific worst-case scenario line the Republicans might try to go down is exactly what they've decided to go down. quote, screws up the female brain. MAGA leaders are conditioning Republicans to back birth control bans. Listen, guys, no matter how many times the Republicans say they just want to blank or they just want to do that, they always want to do more. There is no compromise with the right. They cannot compromise. Part of their entire worldview, their fundamental moral principle is that they must win at all costs, utterly and unequivocally, and there can be no compromise when you have utter victory. That is not complete, total victory. And conservatives must have total victory for their worldview to be achieved. Because a big part of their worldview is that it is inevitable. Have you guys noticed that? That, like, conservatives will argue that their worldview and their beliefs are inevitably going to win without even a second thought. With the left, it's more of like there has always generally been a trend to more progressive, but that's not always the case. That could change if people aren't actively trying to advocate for, like, progressive ideas. But for the right, they kind of act as though part of their ideology fundamentally is that eventually everyone grows up and matures into understanding it's the right way to think. But if that doesn't happen, then that's a self-defeating worldview. Or maybe not. I mean, conservatism has been a self-defeating worldview for a very long time, and yet it's still here. It's still around. Charlie Kirk, the head of the MAGA propaganda behemoth Turning Point USA, recently unveiled a novel theory as to why young women tend to vote for Democrats. Oh, let's hear this interesting theory. Unwilling to admit that women can think for themselves, Kirk floated the theory that birth control pills cause brain damage. Birth control, like, I don't really know how he sounds, honestly. Actually, let me see if I can... How's he sound again?
A lot of them are on birth control too, and...
Birth control really screws up female brains? He falsely claimed before a crowd at a recent church event streamed on the far-right site Rumble, claiming the pill, quote, increases depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation. He then blamed women's voting patterns on hormonal contraception. Quote, it creates a very angry and bitter young woman and young ladies and young women, Kirk argued. Quote, then that bitterness manifests into a political party that is the bitter party. I mean, the Democratic Party is all about bring us your bitterness and, you know, we'll give you free stuff. Wow. So the reason women vote Democrat isn't because the right says stuff like that about women. It's because the birth control makes their brains damaged, and then it makes them bitter, and then because they're bitter, they vote Democrat, because the Democrats say if you're bitter, you'll get free stuff. That just seems like saying women are hysterical, but with extra steps, you know? Like, why not just say women are hysterical, and then there you go. That's why women don't vote Republican. Here's him saying it himself.
A lot of them are on birth control too, and birth control, like, really screws up female brains, by the way. Every single one of you need to make sure that your loved ones are not on birth control. It increases depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation.
He's such a funny-looking guy. Jesus Christ. How is someone who looks like this allowed to be this influential? Like, no matter what angle you look at him from, he's just so fucking weird-looking. He, like, why is he... Like, it really does look like his face is like pasted onto, like, this is not the proper face, like, blueprint of a person. Like, it looks like somebody sewed a child's face onto a man's blank face. Does that make sense to you guys? It looks like they cut the face off of a child and then found like a blank-faced man, and then like seamlessly sewed that child's face onto the blank-faced man, but the face is too small, so it doesn't fit on the head. Like, look at this image. The longer you look at it, the more wrong it looks.
Birth control is the #1 most prescribed medication.
Exactly. They put a child's face, like they stitched a child's face onto Slender Man, but Slender Man has a big head, so the face itself is tiny on the head, and it looks weird. He's a creature. Oh my god, look at his receding hairline, too. That is a fucking unfortunate. Oh my god, he did not have a lot of not forehead to spare either.
Young ladies under the age of 25, they will give young ladies birth control for pimples, for acne, to control their moods, their period. It is awful, it's terrible, and it creates very angry and bitter young ladies and young.
Notice how the common through line is always, time and time again, we are taking away the rights of insert minority group because it is better for them. And here is like a convoluted, in no way agreed upon by experts or scientists or doctors, narrative about how it is, right? And you'll only hear men repeating it, and maybe a few women who have never taken birth control and have like 12 kids or something. Christ.
Women, that bitterness then manifests into a political party that is the bitter party. I mean, the Democrat Party is all about bring us your bitterness and, we'll give you free stuff. It's like we'll trade you, bitterness for stuff, essentially. That's like the Democrat.
It is wild that, like, they actually think like this, Like, conservatives genuinely think that is how the left thinks. Like, yeah, we're bitter about everything because we care about stuff that's happening that's bad and unjust. And so, we think that if you care enough about things that are bad and unjust, then you'll just magically get given free stuff. And it's like, that is clearly a very uncharitable way to characterize what the left really stands for, which is, generally speaking, the idea that recognizing, caring about, and, like, caring to discuss and bring attention to atrocities and injustice in the world means that you are a decent person. And if you try to bring about justice, then perhaps one day you can improve the world in such a way that not just you, but others in future generations will be able to live better lives than the ones expected to be lived when you were born into the world. Like, you hope to make generations better, or like the lives of future generations better than yours was, and than your, like, the previous generation was. But to conservatives, this, like, idea is being bitter. Like, a lot of conservatives think that caring about, say, what's happening in Israel-Palestine is quote-unquote giving a shit about a conflict thousands of miles away that will never affect you, right? They actively think it's ridiculous to even have an opinion on a conflict like that. Because if it doesn't affect you, why the fuck do you care? And it's like, well, because children are dying. It's like, are they your kids? Do you know them? Are they in your country? Will you ever see them outside the internet? How far are they? Thousands of miles away. Once again, why do you care? They will just hit you with that line of questioning over and over again. And there will never be a point, at least in a actual conversation you'd have with these types, where it clicks for them that there is there is validity in caring about human life on a fundamental level. So they are anti-human. Yeah, I mean, they don't have a fundamental, like, they don't believe that human life is fundamentally valuable at all. Like, ask them, is human life fundamentally valuable? And like, challenge them on it if they say yes, and see how quickly that falls apart. They do not believe human life has fundamental value. They believe that human life has to earn value. As with most things MAGA leaders say, Kirk's claim is so misleading that it can only be called lying. First, of course, accusing Democrats of being bitter is rich coming from MAGA, whose entire pitch is bitterness. Yeah, their entire thing is insulting those that are progressive, such as saying the entire left only cares about bitterness. More importantly, he's lying about the pill. A tiny percentage of women have mental health issues with birth control. The most rigorous research shows it affects 0.5%, or 1 in 200 women on the pill. Granted, Kirk was so bad at basic studies like math that he dropped out of community college at age 18. Still, even the biggest Nimrod can grasp the half of a single percentage point is not a big number. But of course, Kirk is not sincerely mistaken, and he certainly isn't concerned about the well-being of women, which all reputable research shows is dramatically improved by having birth control over their fertility. Kirk's doctor cosplay is part of a much larger and semi-coordinated strategy among right-wing leaders to demonize birth control and train the GOP base into believing that restricting or even banning contraception is justified. As the Washington Post reported last month, the right-wing activists have been flooding social media with the same lies that Kirk was echoing in his video. It's a well-financed disinformation campaign, getting a major boost from MAGA billionaire Peter Thiel, who has aggressively financed teams of messengers to falsely claim that hormonal birth control, quote, tricked our bodies into dysfunction and pain. Doctors report that the tidal wave of misinformation about birth control is creating a healthcare crisis, including women who, quote, come in for abortions after believing that what they see on social media about the dangers of hormonal birth control, unquote. Yeah, Peter Thiel is a fucking monster who is like the king of right-wing disinformation funding right now. He's like a massive like dark money funder. On top of that, if you've seen like those posts on right-wing Twitter lately where it's like a woman talking about all the horrible experiences she's had with hormonal birth control, it's part of like a massive bot campaign on Twitter to push this idea that there is a huge cultural wave of women calling out the evils of birth control. Go to their accounts, they're usually name bunch of numbers, and they oftentimes have posted from Russian town despite claiming to be an American account. Interesting. Of course, the real reason MAGA leaders don't like birth control is they oppose the freedom and opportunities that it has afforded women. Kirk barely bothers to hide that this is his real agenda. In the very same talk, he also tries to threaten women who hold out for Mr. Right instead of settling for Mr. Incel. Quote, in their 30s, they get really upset because they say the boys don't want to date me anymore because they're not at their prime, he claims, echoing the unevidenced revenge fantasy that dominates misogynist message boards. In reality, of course, the median age for marriage is creeping up to almost 30 for women, up from age 20 in 1960. If women become unmarriageable at 30, it wouldn't be the case that it is the age when most of them are getting married. Kirk is just pulling the tired old right-wing trick of trying to spin his desire to control women as chivalry. It's the same line we've heard in so many ways, that freedom is bad for women because they supposedly don't have the mental capacity to handle it, and wouldn't they just be happier under male control? The angry male masses may enjoy the fantasy of women regretting their choice not to just give up and settle for a Trump voter, but even anti-feminist activists know that it's a hard sell, both politically and legally. So instead of openly admitting that sadism fuels their desire to restrict birth control, it's repackaged as protecting women from imaginary health risks. It's the exact same playbook that the right has been using for decades to argue against abortion rights. Before Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health, Republicans relentlessly passed laws making it harder to get an abortion, such as mandatory waiting periods with false claims that these were medically necessary restrictions. In 2016, a more liberal Supreme Court shot down some of these restrictions on the grounds that the science used to justify them was made-up nonsense. But anti-choicers haven't gonna... I cannot speak today. I need to take a sip of water. I'm so sorry. Hold on a second, okay? My mouth is so dry, my tongue keeps getting, like, caught, like, stuck on the roof of my mouth, and it keeps cutting off my words. It's weird. In 2016, a more liberal Supreme Court shot down some of those restrictions on the grounds that the science used to justify them was made-up nonsense, but anti-choicers haven't given up hoping that fake science will beat reproductive rights. The abortion pill challenge pending review by the Supreme Court, for example, is based on 3 articles that were eventually retracted. In reality, of course, medication abortions done without the drug in question are more painful and dangerous. Even some of the most anti-abortion justices, such as Amy Coney Barrett, sounded skeptical about banning a safe pill based on alternative facts, which is why it's no surprise that the 2 most loudly MAGA members of the court, Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas, started instead to talk up the Comstock Act, an 1873 anti-sex law that stopped being enforced decades ago but was never repealed. Talk about reviving this law has grown louder in right-wing circles, mainly because they see it as a way for Donald Trump, if he regains the White House, to unilaterally ban abortion without having to ask congressional Republicans to take an unpopular vote. For the far right, the beauty of the Comstock Act is It sidesteps all these pesky questions about health safety, and instead, the law bans not just abortion, but pretty much anything associated with human sexuality, from contraception to nudes and art. Oh, shit. They're full-on passing purity laws. Like, or what is the term? The, like, full-on, like, banning any form of what they consider degeneracy if they can pass this. The law forbids shipment of every, quote, obscene, lewd, lascivious, indecent, filthy, or vile article, matter, thing, device, or substance. It was used to prosecute not just abortion provision, but also people who sold obscene books and materials, including literary works like Ulysses by James Joyce, and art like nude paintings of the goddess Venus. All sex education, even for married couples, was outlawed. It also banned not just birth control, but also sharing information on how to prevent pregnancy, which means it would cover even those, quote, wellness sites that make misleading claims that period tracking is effective contraception. Anthony Comstock, the infamous prude who was behind the law, was much like Charlie Kirk, in that his misogynist intent was never far beneath the surface. He frequently bragged about how many women he'd driven to suicide by relentlessly prosecuting them for helping other women get reproductive health care or explaining the mechanisms of sex to newlyweds. Within the first 5 years of the bill, he gloated that he had forced 15 women to take their lives. He tried but failed to do this to Planned Parenthood founder Margaret Sanger, repeatedly targeting her for arrest for teaching women to prevent pregnancy. Sanger did not, despite anti-choice propaganda claiming otherwise, offer abortion. But conservatives know it's not popular to loudly champion a law written by a man who once claimed, quote, books are feeders for brothels. So instead, we're getting this tsunami of hand-wringing about the imaginary damage that birth control is doing to women who are forever presumed by conservatives to be too dim to be trusted with their own decisions. The malevolence is never that hard to see. However, concern that women who have sex will end up lonely cat ladies is less a reflection of sincere trepidation and more a bit of wish casting. Conservatives long for women to be punished, even as their anger reflects a deeper understanding that women are actually doing pretty well with this freedom and equality thing. The fact is, conservatives, when they say, women hit the wall at 30, it's more like saying, rain, rain, go away. They don't think it's actually a thing that happens. They don't really believe it. They know it's not the case. It's more so something they say as a sort of curse. It's like, fuck you, it's an insult. It's a hope. It's a wish. They want there to be a punishment for these women daring not to have sex with them and become their, breeding mares. So, obviously, the Republicans are heavily now focusing their attention on the banning of birth control now. They will not stop. Condoms, all forms of birth control and contraception will be banned if they're able to gain full unilateral control of the government. I mean, across the red states alone, they might just get their way through and through without any pushback, considering the Supreme Court is fully Republican and the red states are pretty fully Republican. We might see policies like this actually pass in some red states, and if we're lucky, see a massive exodus from those red states. That would be pretty nice. I would like to see something like that. Regardless, though, if you want to fight against this, if you want to try and keep conservatives from taking away your rights, if you care about protecting them anywhere near as much as conservatives care about taking them away from you, please consider signing up to work with Progressive Victory. If you do !PV in my chat right now, you'll get a link to their website where you can sign up to go to their canvassing events, where you can knock on doors and convince people to vote blue in local elections. Hell, they've even got phone banking opportunities for you. So without even having to leave the house, you can just make phone calls to people and convince them, just like I do, to vote for a blue candidate. Seriously, it is a very effective way that you can actually affect change here in your community or just anywhere around the country. Please consider signing up with Progressive Victory. Consider working with them no matter what you want to do or what you're comfortable with. They probably have some valuable work for you to do that can help protect your rights. So consider signing up with them. There's also a link down below in the description if you watch this as a video when it goes out on YouTube. And not to mention, if you enjoy my content and you like my videos, please consider leaving a like. Every single thumbs up really does go a long way to support the channel. It basically forces it in the algorithm out to more people's recommended, so I really do appreciate that. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon if you haven't already. And yeah, comment down below if you also want to boost the video. It really helps boosting in the algorithm when you guys comment. But yeah, with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed. How do you guys like that segment? I feel like it came out pretty good. I got thirsty towards the end there. I kept on tripping up when I was reading, because my mouth is so goddamn dry. Yeah, a lot of conservatives look up to that Comstock guy. He tortured a lot of women and was very proud of it, as we read, bragging about pushing 15 women to ending their own lives. You have to understand, like, nothing's changed. The monsters that we, like, talk about and are up against today were inspired by just as monstrous of people who did just as monstrous of things going back, frankly, thousands of years ago if you follow the lines back enough. It's just awful people being inspired by awful people being inspired by awful people. Literal evil? I agree. No disagreement there. Actually, what's our next topic? All right, I'm gonna do one more segment, and then I'm gonna get a monster energy, which should probably wake me back up. Honestly, should I just get a monster now? I feel so groggy right now, and like my mouth is dry, so I could use a nice fizzy drink, and I could use the caffeine. Get it now, you think? Get it now? Safer than sorry? Okay. We'll get it now. I'll be right back. Be patient, I'll be back in just a moment. I have returned with Monster Energy. Feels good. Yep. Yeah, I needed that. I needed that a lot. I could definitely... I think that feeling of grogginess was my body being like, please, caffeine! I need caffeine, please! We can't even... You're barely awake, please, drink some caffeine! Alrighty. Nice, nice. Alrighty. No, 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 no. Really? Wow, that's crazy. Either this is Google being really bad, or I just have to search on YouTube. Wow. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's just Google being really bad.
Disturbing allegations in a new lawsuit.
Hey, you stop that. You stop that, YouTube. You stop that. You chill the fuck out. You chill the fuck out now. You calm your ass down, YouTube. You just chill. Wow, holy shit. Wow, holy shit. I feel like this is a relevant part of the story, is that there is zero mainstream news coverage of this story. Huh.
Ye's legal trouble.
Whoa. You all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. Okay. Chat, I need to know something. What the hell is Donda Academy? What is that? I know it has to do with Kanye West. Or I guess Ye West? Does he go by Kanye again? I don't even know. What is Donda Academy? You guys seem just as confused as I am. Unfortunate, because I was hoping one of you would have an answer to that question. I really don't know.
Ye's legal troubles continue to grow as he's sued by another former employee.
He's getting sued. That's why I ask. Because an ex-Donda Academy staffer is suing him again. Keyword again? Apparently this has happened before. Obviously he has a lot of money. I don't think this is going to bankrupt him or whatever, but I think it's worth considering the fact that there are apparently quite serious allegations coming out against him. Now, for those that don't know, Kanye West is, sort of the figurehead of black neo-Nazis on the internet these days. He obviously went on Alex Jones' show in a very bizarre mask and proceeded to talk about how he loves Hitler, he loved the Nazis, he loves their outfits and the way that they, did all this horrible shit. He just says the worst shit he can think of, the most offensive things he can think of, and goes on, like, manic high rants quite regularly. He is very mentally unwell and has some pretty bad politics on top of that, so you mix those two things together and you get some pretty wild breakdowns. And I guess even off of Twitter and outside of politics, Kanye is just as ridiculous and insane. He and Elon Musk are in the same basket of very sad, really right-wing, delusional, divorced men who have a lot of money and no happiness to spend that money on.
Have the details. A lawsuit filed on Tuesday, April 2nd, paints a disturbing.
He loves wearing masks. I don't know why. He would say it's because he's cool and it's his style. I think it has something to do with his mental illness.
Picture of Ye's Donda Academy, an educational institution that opened and closed in 2020.
I'm sorry, this is a trailer park house that I would pass, like, in Florida. What? What? I'm so confused. I did not know about this. Apparently this is, like, Kanye's really rich. He could have afforded a better building than this to do this, like, project in if he was that serious about it. But this is like school portables tier.
That opened and closed in 2022. A former Donda Academy employee, Trevor Phillips, paints a picture of a sexually abusive environment. He alleges in the lawsuit that where some
Did Kanye grab someone's cock? Also, is he holding a Switch? He's got a Nintendo Switch, doesn't he? That's what that is. The blue and the red there, that's a Switch. Christ. Well, he's a gamer at least. That's the one W he gets. I'll give him that dub, is that he's a gamer. Okay? Although, the fact that he's a gamer, I'm gonna be honest, makes me 100 times more sure he did it. He's guilty. Gamer? Guilty. 1,000,000 years dungeon! Slams the gavel. I need to buy a gavel. I need my scrolls. I need my, like, feather pen, my gavel, my potions, my orb.
Summoned him to a room at the Nobu Hotel where the rapper put on the Batman and watched in silence. He claims that after a long, awkward silence, Kanye finally spoke and began an unprovoked, bigoted...
Wait. Hold on. No. I need to hear this again. What did he say?
Sexually abusive environment. He alleges in the lawsuit that West summoned him to a room at the Nobu Hotel where the rapper put on the Batman and watched in silence. He claims that after a long, awkward silence, Kanye finally spoke and began an unprovoked, bigoted rant attacking Jewish people, and would later that night,
I believe that,
simulate masturbation while talking about having orgies. But it's not just the staff that's...
Okay, not as bad as I was expecting, but still pretty fucking weird and bad. Okay. I don't think the movie was muted. I think Kanye was sitting there silently watching the movie like this. I think that's what they were saying.
Suffered from an alleged uncomfortable environment. Phillips claimed Ye told students to shave their heads and that he intended to put a jail at the school where students could be locked in cages.
By students, Are we talking kids? What was the point of it? Was it a music academy? Because Kanye's whole thing is music. Like he's big into music, so I wouldn't be surprised if he started like a music academy. Is that what this was? Or did he try to start like a private school for like the kids of Kanye fans or whatever for like some high admission fee or something? Yes, his academy was for children. What the fuck? So it was Kanye West's private school for children where he wanted to shave the kids' heads, put a jail in the school so they could lock the kids in cages if they misbehave? Yeah, it was going to be an abusive, like, right-wing psycho-run private school is what it was. Holy shit, this place is a fucking nightmare factory.
We've reached out to Ye for comment but have not heard back at the time of recording. We'll continue to follow this story as it develops.
Dude, holy shit. Oh my fucking god. I cannot wait until everything comes out about this guy. Like when, like every previous, like sexual, like interaction he's ever had gets outed, and like every girl he's dated, like outs him, and like all of the crazy, awful shit he must have been doing behind the scenes for all these years just gets fully outed. Not that it'll make much of a difference, but like Kanye seems to just legitimately be like beyond the pale a bad person at this point. Like, as much charitability as I want to give for, like, his mental state, he has been doing this type of stuff for too long now to make any more excuses. Like, he's just a bad person at this point. He can change that, maybe, at some point. But right now, I don't care if he made Graduation, he's a bad person. He did not make Graduation. Hatsune Miku made Graduation. Thank you very much. A former employee of Kanye West filed the suit, accusing the controversial artist of harassment, discrimination, and retaliation. Among other allegations, it is a Los Angeles-based K-12 Christian private school, was what Donda Academy was. Oh my fucking god. Even when class was in session, Kanye would scream and berate black employees while never even as much raising his tone at the white staff, the suit alleges. Often, Kanye targeted Phillips, a black man, not just with his disparate and harassing behavior, but complete and utter disdain. All right, chat. Here's what I do, okay? Here's what I do. Kanye is psychotic enough that this might just work. We dye my hair. We bleach my hair completely blonde white again. Okay, I've got like a hair on the tip of my nose that's tickling it. We dye my hair completely white again, okay? We bleach it. Then we put like bright blue eye contacts in my eyes, and we make me look like the most Aryan motherfucker that ever lived in Aryan land, all right? And then we set up LED lights along my back so as that when they're turned on, I emanate light, you know, almost like Jesus or an angel. And then we need to find out where Kanye is staying. And I need to break into, like, his room in the middle of the night and then, like, just turn on the lights and start blaring light and be standing there looking like this Aryan angel. And I need to do this face at him, like, you know, just, like, you know, hit my most, like, God's creation looking ass face, and then just be like, Kanye, why have you spoken so ill of God's chosen people? Are you not a servant of the Lord Holy Jesus Christ? Like, just absolutely fuck with him, like pull some Scrooge type shit, but completely manufactured, and see if we can't change his entire worldview. I think he's psychotic enough he might believe it, and it might change everything. Mind you, this is a guy who's probably used to waking up in the middle of the night and seeing Hat Man, okay? So, seeing me might be a little bit of a welcome sight. This sounds very ableist. You know? Maybe it is. But it's not ableist if Kanye doesn't fall for it, right? Let's see, what else is interesting here? What the fuck? In October 2022, West wore a White Lives Matter t-shirt, Kanye West, and dressed several black models in clothing with the same phrase at his YZY runway show at Paris Fashion Week. The slogan had been linked by the Anti-Defamation League to the Ku Klux Klan. Then in a 45-minute Drink Champs podcast episode later that month, the rapper made numerous outrageous and anti-Semitic comments that caused financial repercussions for him and his brand partners. Yeah, we know about all this. Yep. He is very mentally ill. Dude, this is such a nightmare. Could you imagine how fucking awful it would be? Like, your parents think that, like, sending you off to Kanye's Christian private school is going to be, like, this life-changing, amazing experience you'll, like, brag about your whole life because you got to go to Kanye's private school, and then it ends up being this, like, abusive, weird, low-budget, hyper-Christian, like, abusive hell. From kindergarten to 12. It's a K through 12 school. So it's kindergarten, first grade, all the way to 12th grade. And it's like 4 buildings, too. So how do they even pull that off? I don't even know how that's done with that few buildings based on the image that I saw. But, I mean, I guess so. At least they shut down a while ago. But, yeah. I hope he gets railroaded in this lawsuit. But considering it's Kanye and he has a lot of money, probably not. He'll probably be okay. Really wealthy people tend to just get away with shit like this. It has to be a lot of stuff at once for even a chance of real justice, like with Trump, where the only real chance we have at justice with him is all this stuff coming at him all at the same time. But we'll see. We'll see. By the way, if you enjoyed this segment, please consider dropping a like. It really helps the video, the channel, my videos on the channel, my streams, etc., everything. Seriously, thumbs up. They push my content in the algorithm. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you want to, go the extra mile to support me, you can always donate, subscribe, gift a sub on my website, or just financially support me through whatever means you find appropriate if you want to, through the links down below in the description. And you can also subscribe and ring the bell icon to make sure YouTube always tells you when I go live. And do not forget to join my fan Discord, which is also linked down below. Make sure you are in there if you are not already. It is well worth being in there, even if it is the only Discord server you join. But yeah, with all that said, thanks for watching. All right. That was a good segment, I think. What do you guys think of that one? Good seg? Hell yeah. All right. What segment's next on my list? What shall I do next? You know, that sounds good. Oh. Xander Hall, I got a quick funny meme with this live footage of Kanye West losing his shit. Hey. I fucking love this meme. This meme format, the fucking Sonic fan dubs. I'm not a big Sonic guy, as you guys know, but I will say Sonic fan dubs are some of the funniest Sonic-related content you guys send me.
Hey, what's up? It's
That is a cool looking villain.
Stop!
I don't know how to impress upon you that physical damage done to my body does not affect me in the long term. Oh, your friends are here.
We're here to help you, man. With what? I don't know, but I value our friendship.
Jesus Christ, watch out for that son of a bitch.
It's really cute that you're gonna defeat me with the power of friendship and all, but again, I am the devil from the Bible, so I don't know how
You
well it's gonna work.
motherfucker, you didn't let me finish.
Go ahead.
I have all this power in my hands.
Shut up, the fuck up. I don't care. I do not care. You don't understand. I came down here as a joke to have fun. This is not,
This is how Kanye talks during his meltdowns, to be fair.
means nothing to me. This means nothing to me, all right? You mean nothing to me. You and your little friends are fucking annoying. This is why I stay down in hell. This is why I punish sinners. I'm the good guy. Do you realize I am the good guy here? I am the winner of everything. God goes up and he plays with all his little friends like, oh, you look, I donated to charity. Oh, yeah, whatever, fucking I get to kill people. I get to poke people with hot sticks all day. It's great. Give me those. You don't get those. You lost your stupid little privileges. Fuck you, dipshit. Oh God. Go to space.
Go to space.
Look, I can do this. I can do this anytime I want. This is nothing to me. You are nothing to me. I hate you. I hate you. This is my big fucking thing.
Oh my god, he's fucking losing it entirely.
Okay, that was really good. That was actually really, really good. The Sonic fan dubs are pretty fucking funny. They actually are. Like, I literally would play through that Sonic game if I could just get a version of the game where they replaced all of the audio dubbing with, like, the fan dub. I wouldn't understand anything about the game or the story, but I'd be laughing my ass off the entire time. Kanye really fell off. So true. So true. You know, he was my GOAT, and he really disappointed me. Perry Icefire, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate that. Very kind of you. And that's a joke. Kanye was never my GOAT. So Zan, thoughts on Renaissance fairs? I suggest it will help create more for your wizardry. Ooh, that's actually a very good point. You want to know what my favorite Renaissance fair in the world is? Granted, I've only been to one. Is the Renaissance fair that I that I grew up going to, which is the Tampa State Fairground Renaissance Fair. Tampa Renaissance Fair. It's like actually a pretty good one too. I've seen quite a few online, and I genuinely don't think I don't think they're generally better than this. Like, I think this is the best Renaissance fair I've ever seen, even on the internet, which is pretty surprising. I've seen a lot of them online, and I still think the one that I went to frequently as a kid is the best one. Also, I recognize this road.
Today's video takes place down an old dirt road. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome if it's your first time. It's good to be back for the 43rd annual Tampa Bay Renaissance Festival.
This is 2021.
At its brand new location out here in Dade City, Florida. This event previously held at the Museum of Science and Industry back in Tampa. But because...
Yeah, it used to be at Mosey, but Mosey moved, and then so did this Renaissance fair, which is a massive punch to the gut, but, you know, it's still the same thing. It's just in a different physical location, which is just a big fucking field.
Because of the situation, they've moved out to this rural place out here east of Dade City. Actually, there's a dirt road right here. It's very rural. I am so excited. I love medieval times. I love the Renaissance. I am Tampa J, and there is much ahead. I have found the main gates and ticket center. Right over there in those windows is where you purchase your ticket if you did not already do so online. Pre-purchase tickets, just enter through the gate. $22.95 to enter the festivities at the gate, but I reserve my...
There's two people wearing a mask. This guy and the one person in the background.
My spot online, and it was just about 18...
I almost thought that was gonna say Trump. I wouldn't have been surprised if that was a big Trump banner. That is how, like, into Trump Florida is.
$15 and some change. And we are inside. This place looks massive. Oh, look. straight ahead.
It's so
The
fun
Wheel
here.
of Death. I love that thing. Oh my golly, look at that guy. Look at him go.
It's fucking awesome. My hands are sweating just
amazing.
watching that.
You are all fantastic. Say it with me.
This is Return.
Wheel.
Return to tradition.
Good night, guys.
Yeah.
Return
That
to
was
tradition.
awesome. Maybe I'll come back a little later. He does several shows. I'll try to get to the beginning later.
Oh my god, a druid.
Oh yeah, I'm from around these parts.
Do you know what this
Well,
town
bard.
is called? Do you know?
Hizzleworth.
Hizzleworth?
Guard.
Schmutzendorf? Scheiserberg? Something like that?
Maybe Dade City? Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Oh. I think it went to the top there.
Almost!
You gotta flick it.
Oh, that's fun. Well, check it
Gotta
out.
hit it
Good
with the
old
flick.
axe throw, star throw, and knife throw. Which shall I do? It looks like you get 7 throws for $5. I think I'm going to do this. This will be fun. Oh wow, that's a lot of knives.
Look, a little bit farther down on the blade. On the blade? Yeah. Okay.
This is what they took from you.
Just let
This
it
could be your
release
daily
on your
life. You're on the computer
Go a
right
little bit
now.
more
but
into it,
instead
try to throw through the
you
board.
could be doing this. This is why we need to destroy all technology. We need a massive solar flare to come hit the planet, knock out all our power and technology, and we need to go back to this.
Oop, you still hitting the target though. Yeah. Oh, you feel it? You can feel exactly where it's at.
Yeah, just keep saying over and over
throw
again,
that
it's
with
about
you.
the technique.
One more.
It's about the technique. Come on, man. It's about the technique.
Oh, it's very close.
I prefer video games. Well, that's because you're a video gay. Anyway, yeah, I love Renaissance fairs. Oh, by the way, allow me to show you what I was talking about when I said I wanted to make, like, custom leather-bound versions of like, certain books that I really, really like. There's this one crafts YouTuber who does this. Yeah, Nerdforge, this lady. Yeah. I basically, I want to do this.
People, please, wait,
What's the matter with you?
Thank you.
That was
Hey
a
guys,
sin.
shut up,
That
I
was
get
a
out.
sin.
So
that was akin to like burning a Bible. She is going to hell now.
going to rebind this into an awesome fantasy tome. And
Well, let me show you how it looks like at the end. It's a very long process. It's a very long process, but eventually
the light lights up.
it's so good.
It lights up. It's a little bit tacky, but also it lights up, so it's really cool.
Tacky, cool. I mean, 3 weeks later, and we have a finished rebound book for once. I mean, we've made a lot of books from scratch, but this was a nice change.
Look at that. Look at that shit right there. That right there is how I want my books to look. With a light on it that lights up when you open the book. And just look at that. It's got texture. They textured it.
And by the way, thank you so much for helping me with all the silver stuff.
It was so much fun to finally be able to do
Get,
some
like,
metal casting.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. Look at that. This is how my books will look one day. So raw. It's got a clasp. Need. Get that for D&D? Yeah. Does that book have a battery in it? Yeah. You probably have to switch out a little, like, LED battery. But it's a little LED light. It'll last for a very long time. It'd be cool if it could somehow work as a reading light, you know? I'd kill for that shit. Yeah. Yeah, I think we all would. Let me update the dono goal really fast. Alrighty. Let me check and make sure. I was gonna cover this next topic. Yep. Alright. It is time.
This week, I read the book The...
All right. You all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. You guys know that one annoying dude in that bizarre-looking mask with, like, the beads on it that makes the annoying YouTube shorts and TikToks about, like, being red-pilled and how good it is to be, like, a crypto bro, high-value man, but he's also not a red pillar anymore. He's, like, a special centrist. He's doing this really bizarre, like, centrist grift, and, I must say, this anti-profit guy's mask is starting to fall apart. Like, literally, as the mask slips, his mask in real life is falling apart. Which is, you know, hilarious. He uploaded this video called I Came From Poverty, and I feel like this is a perfect example of the sort of grifty persona he plays online to convince people of the sort of self-started, like, positive influence he is supposed to be.
I don't know what you want to call this, but the fact that I was raised below the poverty line and I'm sitting here in this beautiful villa in Bali is a miracle. I remembered this very distinct experience when I was like 5 years old and my parents took me to Chuck E. Cheese for my birthday. And I remember sitting there at the table and this guy brought me my slice of cheese pizza. I was sitting there eating it and watching all the kids running around and playing the games. And when I was done with that piece of pizza, I turned to my mom and asked, "Can I have some money to go play the games?" And she said, "No, we don't have money, but enjoy your pizza." And that experience had a very specific imprint on me because it taught me something very specific in my relationship to money. And that relationship with money was something that I had to spend the next 2.5 decades deprogramming inside of myself. Now, people talk about manifestation, they talk about all this woo-woo bullshit.
Wait, is he actually arguing that being miserly with your money is a bad thing if you don't have good financial prospects currently? Because I assure you, if you don't have money to go spend on games, you don't have money to go spend on games. It's just that simple.
And that relationship with money was something that I had to spend the next 2.5 decades deprogramming inside of myself. Now, people talk about manifestation, they talk about all this woo-woo bullshit.
Yeah, the funny thing as well is this is literally copying Kanye, right? Like, isn't this the exact mask that Kanye wore? Kanye, Alex Jones interview. Like, is he not literally ripping this from Kanye? No, okay, it's not the same one. But it's, like, definitely... He's trying to evoke that vibe, isn't he? I think he's just generally too much of a pussy to show his face. I think he probably doesn't want his identity associated with the stuff he says on his channel. And we're going to get to the stuff he's been saying on his channel lately that he really doesn't want his identity associated with, I'm sure.
I don't know if I entirely believe in that, but I do believe that if you put your energy towards something valuable on a daily basis, and you tell yourself the truth and tell others around you the truth, life will start to unfold in such a way where incredible things start to happen. Now,
how do you say so many words that mean nothing? What? If you put your energy... This is literally like the that like insane TikTok like spiritual shit. Like, oh, be wary of those that are trying to sap your energies. Like, what is this? Yeah, it's word salad. This is just meant for like semi-spirit. This is content meant for the male version of like women who believe that like everything about you is determined based on your like astrological sign.
Maybe you could call that luck, or maybe you could call it manifestation. I think all I'm saying is just continue every day to show up and do the work, and
I think you could call it manifestation. You guys know what he means when he says that, right? Manifestation is literally like fucking magical thinking, where you think if you believe in something hard enough, it will come about. Literal magical thinking. Like actual child brain shit here. What? I can kind of see his face through the mask now. I can see his eye there. That's like the shine of his eye. I can see it sticking out a little bit there. I can see his face. I can see bits of it.
around you the truth. Life will start to unfold in such a way where incredible things start to happen. Now, maybe you could call that luck, or maybe you could call it manifestation. I think all I'm saying is just continue every day to show up and do the work, and I promise you, the rest will sort itself out.
Just continue living your life. Follow for more motivational content. Absolutely nothing is said. So that gives you a little bit of perspective in like the less overt and problematic aspects of his content. Like at best, at absolute best, this guy is just an annoying prick who makes very not valuable, not useful, word salad, motivational slop, right? Sometimes he dips into red pill stuff, and lately he's been trying to play this weird centrist angle, all the while having just uploaded a video that has gone quite viral and has gotten a lot of support from his fan base called Things I Like About Fascism. So let's hear, what are some things that he likes about fascism?
The Doctrine of Fascism by Benito Mussolini. And oh no, get ready for it. There were some reasonably good ideas in it. For example, fascism encourages men to be men of action, to conquer the difficulties of life through strength and a deep spiritualism.
So no, that is not what fascism encourages men to do. What fascism does is encourages something called machismo, which is the belief that men must achieve a certain set of state-ordained sets of standards in order to be a real man, usually involving going to die in war. Pretty much going to die in war, dying in a factory, dying for the state, usually along those lines. There's absolutely nothing about fascism that wants men to be better, stronger men for the sake of men. In fact, here, we'll bring up Yep, here it is. The Cult of Action for Action's Sake. This is from Umberto Eco's, sort of deconstruction of fascism. This is sort of a mix of 2 points that he's mixing together to sort of reframe as a good thing. The Cult of Action for Action's Sake, which dictates that action is of value in itself and should be taken without intellectual reflection. This, says Eco, is connected with anti-intellectualism and irrationalism and often manifests in attacks on modern culture and science. Basically, the idea is there must always be an enemy to fight. There must always be a thing to do. There is never a point in which, a thing is okay, unless it is something that they like, of course. And then there is the machismo, which sublimates the difficult work of permanent war and heroism into the sexual sphere. Fascists thus hold both disdain for women and intolerance and condemnation of non-standard sexual habits from chastity to homosexuality. It's a combination of this idea, and of course contempt for the weak is quite common too. It's caveman brain shit. Yes, it encourages men to be active and to do things.
However, it also says that the state is the end-all be-all. I think the
the point of weaponizing men's desire to do something that matters, because especially these days and in a more modernized world, men are given this impression that without the the natural hierarchy that these people like claim exists in nature, of where like men are supposed to be, what's the term for it? It's the opposite of monogamy. It's it's that red pill phrase they fucking love. Why am I blanking on it right now? That women are naturally monogamous, while men are naturally hypergamous. And thus, if women are being hypergamous themselves, having a lot of partners, etc., that's actually against their nature, and they're making themselves miserable and unhappy if they do that, whether they realize it or not. But men are naturally hypergamous, which means men, whether they realize it or not, want to have as many female sexual partners as possible. And if you don't follow that natural desire, then you are not living up to the proper standard of a man. So, yeah, he's basically going to say, I like the part where it says men should do things, but I don't like the part where they say they should die for the state.
Last part of that is bullshit. The state is not the great unifier. Biology is. We're entering a world where we need to seriously define what it is to be human.
What?
In contrasting ourselves to AI. Biology.
Okay, so this is just tech bro, they think the end is coming type shit. I am so scared for Gen Z that they are watching this brain rot content. I am so scared for them. What do you even respond to this psychopathy with? Like, this guy's whole thing is just record 60 seconds of himself with a blank background and a mask and like a mic, ranting about nothing, word salad, upload it with some like inspirational Sigma music in the back, and he's raking in big dough. He apparently lives in Bali in like a massive house.
Is the most indisputable factor in this realm. You're already seeing biology touch a nerve in other parts of society, like the trans debate, in a world of rampant individualism.
Rampant individualism. Yeah, so the right, of course, hates the idea of individualism. To be fair, I had an argument with a friend just today on this topic. I was in Discord with a friend, and we were scrolling through Reddit, and a video came up where like Ukrainian soldiers were pulling Ukrainian men out of a van that were trying to flee the country so they wouldn't have to fight against the Russians. And it's like, well, fuck Russia and their invasion. And, you know, I want there to be Ukrainians fighting, but I also don't like that they're like beating to death these guys who dared to not throw themselves at the Russian front line, you know? I don't feel like they deserve to get like beaten or killed for desertion. And my friend was like, no, fuck deserters. They deserve to die. Face the wall. And I was like, no, I don't think that like you as an individual are like beholden to giving your life for like those that happen to have inhabited the same country as you. And they, you know, me and my friend had this back and forth, and we never really came to a point of agreement, because fundamentally many people, even somewhat left-leaning moderate people, kind of agree with this idea that individualism is bad, that if you aren't willing to give yourself, like, your life even, to protect or make your entire society better, or at the very least, if you aren't willing to pretend or say that you would, like, let's be real, how many people would actually, who say they wouldn't desert in a situation like that, actually wouldn't, you know? Regardless, it's interesting to see how many even moderate, like, left-leaning even people follow this mindset of like a man, especially, and he was specifying men, right? Like, if you're an able-bodied man and you flee or become a refugee when your country gets attacked, then you deserve death. It was basically his position. And so it's like, damn, you know, like a lot of people agree with that perspective, and that is a fundamentally fascist idea. Like, there are a lot of like ideas around fascism that, much like this guy, the average person just agrees with. I think a great showcase of that fact is that one Stormfront line from The Boys. People agree with what I have to say, they just don't like the word Nazi. And in a lot of cases, that's true. a lot of far-right activists and Nazis and fascists and stuff like that, if they can just trim the most overtly, recognizably fascist parts out of their rhetoric and just showcase the most flowery, sugar-coated language they can, many people, like, they will cheer for fascism. The average person agrees with fascism if you frame it the right way and you cut out the right bits of it and you cherry-pick the right points. And that's a massive problem, I think. People are way more likely to disagree with small parts of left-wing ideology and need to understand it in a more all-encompassing way to agree with it as like a newcomer to left-wing ideas typically, while right-wing ideas, the less of them you know, the more appealing conservatism is. The less introduced to conservative politics you are, the more likely those politics are to convince you. It's an interesting sort of dichotomy.
Where the individual can be anything or any gender he or she wants. Conservatives, of all people, start to say, hey, maybe we need to be more collectivist by making some strong definitions about gender and about biology.
So the idea behind this is that it is better for society if we do not allow people to be individuals. Like, oh, I'm trans. No, you're not. You are a man. You will always be a man. Now go work in the factories. That is what's best for society. That is essentially what he is arguing is best right now. The idea that conservatives are, he's outright saying, basically, that the right does not believe in personal individualism, that it's a poison that has been sort of caused by the left, where people believe that they are allowed to exist for themselves and not for a greater good. And what is that greater good? Whatever they tell you that greater good is. Don't question it.
So again, getting back to Mussolini's book, do I think the state is the great unifier of the 21st century? No. Do I think humanity is going to be forced to embrace something even more fundamental, such as biology, to cope with the technological advancements of the 21st century?
It is really funny, like, hearing about female biology from a guy who literally had to become a passport bro and fly to another country where I'm pretty sure prostitution is legal in order to, like, get pussy. But okay, man. Okay, I trust your takes on biology. I'm sure you know a lot about the clitoris. Anyway, if you guys like this video, please consider dropping a like. It really helps a lot, pushes my content in the algorithm out to more people. So does commenting down below as well if you guys, would like to do that too. And of course, if you want to join my fan Discord, there's a link down below in the description. And if you want to support me financially, you can always do so by subscribing, donating, or gifting a sub on my website, or supporting me financially through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, or Patreon. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications if you haven't already, because YouTube just won't tell you when I go live or upload any new stuff if you don't do that. So, maybe consider hitting that button. I do appreciate it. Alrighty, guys. How'd you like that segment? I feel like it came out pretty good. Some of these topics come out with shorter segments than usual today, but that's fine. I'm fine getting stream done a little earlier than usual today. Excuse me. We'll see how many people show up to the watch party tonight. If we don't get a lot of people showing up to the watch party, I'll probably cancel it. But if we get a lot of people that show up to the watch party, like about as much as we had last time, then we'll continue. And if a pillow isn't able to make it, or Heavy Gretel isn't able to make it, then we probably won't do it either. Because we'd be continuing without them. So yeah, I'll message a pillow. Damn it, 1 sec, chat. Alright. I messaged both the pillow and Heavy Gretel, so we'll see if we get a response, but Depending on whether or not we do and what the response from them both is, that will determine whether to do the watch party tonight. So there's a good chance we don't. Will we talk about the inevitable drama around the Amazon Fallout show? Well, we're not going to talk about inevitable drama that hasn't happened yet. We're going to talk about the drama when it happens, and there's stuff to talk about. But I do appreciate the sort of preemptive suggestion. That will inevitably be a topic down the road, for sure. Have you noticed Cult of Dusty has been cringe about Biden, even though, like, I don't like the genocide in Gaza, but even that I find cringe that Dusty is too focused on Biden? Wait, that's surprising as fuck. Cult of Dusty is, like, anti-Biden now? What? I feel like he was, like, known for being against the weird, like, fuck the Democrats, they're just as bad as the Republicans type shit. I don't know. That's kind of a bummer. I feel like Cult of Dusty is one of the people through all these years being around has kind of kept his head on straight with most of these takes, even if he could get a little emotional sometimes. Like, his positions tend to be pretty well reasoned, but that doesn't sound great. Yeah, I'm anti-Biden. He's virtue signaling. I dropped subbing to Dusty because of his bullshit. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. Ride the Rails, thank you for the $5 donation. I really appreciate it. Very kind and based of you. Very based, very pog. Says Zan, there is a chapter of the SCA LARP/Ren Fair group in Seattle. They have multiple events coming up. Oh, cool. Nice, thank you for the link, Ride the Rails. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. Ooh. Ooh. I felt that sneeze coming from a mile away. No, I definitely think that, I'll probably go to a Renaissance fair at some point, like, just around Seattle. But not anytime soon, just because I'm so busy. You sneeze like my mom? I'm a loud sneezer. Oh. All right, what's the next topic I'm a-covering? All right. You all know... Oh my god, I just stumbled over my words crazily. You all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. Holy crap. What a headline. Ringleader of Global Monkey Torture Network, the Torture King, is his online name, has been charged. If you want an idea of what the guy looks like, here's an image of him. This guy was one of the ringleaders of a global monkey torture video distribution network. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, and I predicted the fuck out of this. If you have watched me for a while, you know that I predicted the ever-living fuck out of this. I have talked about, for years now, the insanely ignored by YouTube, disgusting community of monkey torture on YouTube. There is a bizarre corner of the internet that is inhabited by two types of people. And that corner of the internet is primarily fixated on torturing baby monkeys. There have been YouTubers covering this problem on the website for a long time, and YouTube has ignored the problem for a very long time. And for a while, you would just see, like, here's a cute video of a baby monkey. Like, a guy, like, bottle feeding a baby monkey that's his pet. And, like, if you sort by newest comments, every other comment is an in-detail paragraph from someone about how they want to torture and kill the baby monkey. Now, something you'll notice about those comments is they tend to fall into one of two categories. Either A, extremely broken English, or B, constant anti-black racial slurs used in their screed about how they want to murder baby monkeys. And so, very quickly, within the group of people that knew about this problem, there became a recognition of a clear sort of demographic breakup of this monkey torture community online. On one end, you've got people primarily from South America and Southeast Asia, where monkeys are a pest animal. Like, if you've ever been to, I think it's Indonesia, there are some pretty substantially large cities where monkeys are rabies-carrying bite disease vectors, and they ruin businesses, they ruin vehicles, property, they hurt people, they bite children and give them rabies, requiring rabies shots, and sometimes they aren't able to get help. So there are many places which are, in the last recent 5 or so years, they're kind of seeing this wave of people getting on the internet, and they have a relationship with monkeys that is not too different from a relationship that a New Yorker would have with rats, right? Which is very much like, fuck rats, I want to kill them, I want to stomp them, which is awful if you're, say, a rat pet owner, like you have a pet rat that's like a domesticated rat, you find that awful, but a New Yorker, they want to kill your pet, right? Similar situation with monkeys when it comes to a lot of countries, like from India to a lot of Southeast Asia, etc., where they're considered a pest animal. On the other end of things, you've got Americans, Canadians, and Europeans who are white, who I don't know where the psychological thing comes from, but much like this guy, they seem to find some sort of racial concordance between baby monkeys and black people and find the torturing of said animals to be like some racist fantasy fulfillment. I mean, are we going to pretend like racism is not a factor in what this guy is doing? Like, are we going to pretend like this guy is not a fucking racist, you know? And it seems like that's the mix of the two groups online. People who are very much not white supremacists, and people who are white supremacist, mentally ill weirdos who like to watch animals get tortured and, like, traffic in videos of it. So, let's sort of find out the entire scoop. I remember saying, please, God, if you guys want to get, like, a clip of me predicting the future again, find the clip where I say, I bet those monkey torture video, like, communities on YouTube are run by Nazi accounts. Every time I'm like, crypto scam, bet it's run by Nazis. Like, the fucking Willy Wonka scam, the guy who ran it, alt-right troll dude. Fucking hilarious. He's done multiple crypto scams in the past, and he's a right-wing troll dude. Every time, people who engage in this type of behavior, when you find out their politics, people who behave in this type of behavior people who behave like this don't tend to have the best politics, just generally. A ringleader, not the ringleader, a ringleader in a global monkey torture network exposed by the BBC has been charged by U.S. federal prosecutors. Michael McCartney, 50 years old, who went by the alias The Torture King, was charged in Virginia with conspiracy to create and distribute animal-crushing videos. Mr. McCartney, who was one of the 3 key distributors identified by the BBC I-Team during a year-long investigation into the sadistic monkey torture groups, 2 women have been charged in the UK following the investigation as well. Mr. McCartney, a former motorcycle gang member who previously spent time in prison, ran several chat groups for monkey torture enthusiasts from around the world on the encrypted message app Telegram. The groups were used to share ideas for custom-made torture videos, such as setting live monkeys on fire, injuring them with tools, and even putting one in a blender. The ideas were then sent, along with payments, to video makers in Indonesia who carried them out, sometimes killing the baby long-tailed macaque monkeys in the process. Usually the videos are sourced out of Southeast Asia, and then they are distributed out to, like, Americans who want to see monkeys get tortured. According to charging documents, Mr. McCartney, who lives in the U.S. state of Virginia, is accused by prosecutors of collecting funds from his chat groups and distributing videos depicting the torture, murder, and sexually sadistic mutilation of animals, specifically juvenile and adult monkeys. Mr. McCartney has cooperated with investigators from the Department of Homeland Security and agreed to plead guilty to conspiracy charges. He will formally make a plea later this month and is facing up to 5 years in prison. Just 5. Up to 5, so a maximum of 5 years in prison. Very unlikely he'll get that maximum. He'll probably get like 2 years. Speaking to the BBC iInvestigations team last year, Mr. McCartney confessed to his role in the torture network, describing himself as the king of this demented world. Quote, "I am the man," he said. Quote, "You want to see monkeys get messed up? I could bring it to you." Mr. McCartney also described the moment he joined his first Telegram monkey group. Quote, "They had a poll set up," he said. "Do you want a hammer involved? Do you want pliers involved? Or do you want a screwdriver?" The resulting videos were, quote, "the most grotesque thing I have ever seen," Mr. McCartney said, and yet he went on to become a key player in the monkey torture groups. What a puke-worthy quote. Yeah, these people say this shit with a grin on their faces, too. I need you to understand that. Like, this is the type of mind that like gravitates towards this like far-right ideology into your 50s. It's why the baby boomer conservatives are so awful. It's because to get that old and still be so vile of a human and have learned nothing requires you to value being a bad person as a virtue, like this guy does. The BBC understands that more charges are expected to follow soon for other key players in the monkey torture network. At least 20 people were placed under investigation last year globally following the BBC's investigation. 3 participants have already been charged in the US, including Mr. McCartney. 2 torturers were arrested and jailed in Indonesia, and 3 women have been arrested in the UK, 2 of whom have been charged. Holly Legresley, 37, of Kidderminster, and Adriana Orme, 55, of Upton upon Severn. Severn? I guess that's some British-ass place. Were charged last month with publishing an obscene article and causing unnecessary suffering to a protected animal. Miss Legresley and Miss Orme were high-profile members of the online torture groups. Miss Legresley, who went by the screen name The Immolator. I want these people facing a wall, by the way. I want to make it very clear. My rehabilitative justice principles just went out the window for these people. Was a moderator in a group run by Mr. McCartney and was involved in commissioning some of the most extreme videos. In the US, 2 others have been charged with the same counts as Mr. McCartney. David Christopher Noble, 48, a former U.S. Air Force officer who was previously court-martialed and dismissed from the military. That means he was probably mentally unwell. And Nicole Devilbiss, 35, who are both facing up to 5 years in prison. It's so sad that, like, there can be, like, countless DMs of people talking about how they want to sadistically torture animals, and it's like, maximum's 5 years. Maximum's 5 years. Sorry. You know, these people are clearly dangerous and a massive problem, but maximum's 5 years. Up to 5 years. That's the maximum. Nicole Devil? Yeah, her last name is literally Devil. Nicole Devilbiss. Almost Devil Piss, frankly. Like, you know, we might as well just call her Nicole Devil Piss. Yeah, this is pretty fucking awful. There was a video that interviewed some of the people in the torture network and, like, showed them speaking. They, like, gleefully talk about what they've done. It's really disgusting. I need you guys to see what these people are like how truly evil they are. You have to understand that when we're dealing with, like, crazy, insane, far-right people, the types of people that we're, like, dealing with are the craziest of the crazy are these people, right? And even crazier. So know that, like, the worst representatives of right-wing politics are out there, and they are this fucked up. Okay, here's a video that breaks down the massive problem on YouTube.
This is my favorite place in LA because I can come here to see the monkeys.
Aww.
And this is about the closest I'm going to get to seeing them in the wild. It's hard to imagine the world that I've discovered of people that actually hate them. Okay, so the gorilla videos.
During the pandemic, Lucy was spending a lot of time on YouTube.
How I came across it was watching this gorilla family and the chimpanzees at the zoo.
Aww.
All of a sudden, pet monkeys started coming up in the feed. Once I clicked on that, that's when the other videos started popping up in my feed. The more abusive type of videos.
This was one of the first videos Lucy came across. It's very disturbing, so we'll only show you the beginning.
Yeah, we're not watching the rest of this, but yeah, like, you can get an idea of how, like, it's on YouTube. We really need to talk about the fact that YouTube is, like, an actual demonic company at this point. The amount of, like, suppression and hardcore, like, false striking, demonetization, etc. they've done to left-wing, like, creators, like, specifically. For example, Dylan Burns had to jump ship and make a whole new YouTube channel to continue being monetized due to a constantly upheld false demonetization claiming he supports terrorism. Meanwhile, Ben Shapiro recently told a story on his show about how he had a personal line over phone with Susan Wojcicki, the last CEO of YouTube, and when Steven Crowder got banned for that minstrel show bit he did with the, like, where he put in buck teeth and wore the straw hat and the glasses and stuff, when he did that minstrel show bit that just got him demonetized, like the biggest slap on the wrist ever, Ben called Susan and had her personally remonetize him. So I need you to understand that YouTube will strike you if you bring attention to this type of stuff. I have gotten countless strikes for daring to cover massive anti-vax content on YouTube, and I would not be surprised if smaller content creators that dare to cover this problem get punished by YouTube for it too, because the last thing YouTube needs is for people to be knowing about this problem that they have neglected. The fact is, YouTube doesn't have the resources to solve these problems, the false striking or the not striking of this stuff, and so they've decided that if they can't fully deal with the problem, they won't even try. And so unless you're just very overtly, virally posting shit that they gets too much attention, they have to take it down, they don't really care as long as you're making them money. And that's why there's a whole community of monkey torture videos that exist on YouTube. Hell, look on YouTube right now, open up YouTube in a new tab, and look up nude yoga, and see what comes up. YouTube does not care about any of the principles or policies that they claim to uphold. Those are only there to make advertisers, the media, and the public happy with the company, to make them believe the company has principles and that the company has standards. In practice, it does not. In fact, trying to call out the company for not upholding those standards is what will get you punished. Which is why it's honestly kind of frightening even covering this topic, because I'm afraid my channel is going to get striked off of YouTube just for talking about this problem that has been persistently monetized on YouTube for half a decade now at least. It's really just a shameless ass platform. I really hope YouTube and Google are forced to pay enormous, like, earth-shattering fines in the future because of the evil they have allowed to fester on their platforms, all the while punishing those that call it out. Like, the platform could really do with a massive hit of karma. Regardless, If you enjoyed this video, please, please, please consider dropping a like. It really does help the channel, my streams, my videos, etc. a whole lot. And of course, you know, if you want to support the channel in other ways, you can donate, subscribe, or gift a sub. You can subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications so YouTube tells you when I go live or upload a new video. And you can also support me by, you know, going down the description and joining my fan Discord or donating through the other donate links. Regardless of how you support me, though, thank you for watching, and I appreciate it. What is going on in YouTube chat? Okay, I'm banning this weirdo that's just spamming constantly. Yeah, the real exposing the joy of Satan person is just being absolutely psychotic in YouTube chat, so they're getting the ban. Sorry. Sorry. Too crazy. You're being too unhinged. No call-ins today, Poker. Sorry. No call-ins today. I apologize. I know it's a fucked up segment, but important to cover. Important to talk about how evil conservatives are. They're the types of people who trade and consume animal torture videos. For some reason, specifically of monkeys, so... fucking weird ass shit. Alright, guys. One last topic to cover today. Let's go. When will I do call-ins? Next week, my friends. Let me check very quick if we are set to do a watch party today. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Capillo and Heavy Gretel will be able to make it, so we won't be doing the watch party tonight. Sorry, guys. No watch party tonight. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. No watch party tonight. But there are more chances in the future. We don't just do watch parties on Fridays anymore. I do them whenever we've got a lot of people that want to do the watch party. He can't keep getting away with it! Okay. What is up with my nose? Please, chill. Just calm down. It's like I have a magical sense in my nose that itches whenever, like, I hit the go live button. It's really bizarre. Like, this doesn't happen when I'm not streaming. It's only when I'm live does my nose itch like this. It's so bizarre. I wonder if it's a mental thing, but I feel it, you know? It's an overwhelming sensation of itchiness on my nose. Ugh.
You might have...
All right. You all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. All right, everybody. As you all know, I'm a big fan of nerd stuff. I mean, I'm wearing a Witcher medallion. I keep my segment topic ideas written down on scrolls. I have several more scrolls right here that are unused. I write with my, like, pen that is perfect for writing on a scroll. I'm a pretty nerdy guy, okay? I like my nerdy stuff, which, as you can imagine, means that my interests on YouTube tend to align a lot with nerd stuff. I like watching a lot of fantasy and sci-fi videos, stuff about armor, swords, sword fighting, video games, etc. And one of the kings of sword, medieval, nerd content on YouTube, going back a few years ago, was Shadiversity. If a new medieval game came out, Shadiversity would cover the trailer, review the combat styles, the weapons, the armor, their, how realistic they are, and I genuinely enjoyed his content. But over time, he started to expand outside of that purview. He began doing content where he appeared on podcasts, primarily right-wing podcasts, which entailed a lot of discussion of how nerd media is being destroyed and ruined by woke writers and a woke takeover. And he quickly became just another bargain bin right-wing grift YouTuber. And on top of that, he's basically died on the sword of defending using AI for his thumbnails and his art for his books and comic stuff that he's trying to do. He's gotten really badly roasted for being such a massive simp for AI art. So right now, he's kind of just fallen off badly. And I never expected he would have fallen off so badly that we would see a video like this come from his channel. YouTube is killing this channel. Shadiversity is dying. That's right, guys. That's right. Shadiversity is dying. Let's watch.
You might have heard that YouTube channels have a life cycle, and although that's not applicable to every content creator, it is to some, and it seems like Shadiversity might be reaching its end. Shadiversity, the channel, is dying, and it's not for the quality of content. I genuinely...
I'm sorry, I had to. You know I had to, right? You know I had to. I had to hit him with it. Okay. It is true that, like, YouTube channels are seemingly, like, set with a certain time limit to how long you can be active and uploading videos without, like, reaching a certain level of success before YouTube just says, clearly your content's just not good enough, and stops recommending your content. I've seen that happen to my channel to some extent, where go back a couple years ago, my videos got recommended far more by YouTube because my channel was newer, but nowadays my videos are far less recommended to the extent where I have to work way harder on the same YouTube channel just to get the same amount of impressions, which is all YouTube's end of, like, how many people are seeing your content recommended by YouTube's algorithm and their sub feed. And that impression rate has dropped ever so slightly over the years because, yeah, as your channel ages, YouTube kind of considers your channel old and irrelevant. And so there is some validity here that, like, he has an old channel, and there's a chance that a lot of his dropping success is just the channel's old and he needs to jump to a new one, right? Like, eventually I'll have to do that. Like, this channel will eventually stop being supported by YouTube and I'll have to make a new one and start from square one. Eventually, that will happen.
Believe, and the feedback certainly is to this effect, that we've been making some of the best content we ever have.
That is certainly not true. In fact, recently he made what his own fans would argue is some of the worst content he's ever made, which was his, like, dying on the hill of defending AI art and saying it's not lazy and that AI art actually takes a lot of skill and effort. I'm not even joking. He argued that using AI art takes a lot of skill and effort because you have to know how to type in the prompts to get the best results. He got a lot of hate from his own fan base for that one. It was hilarious.
And hundreds of thousands of people have been interested and are still in, or would be, and want to watch if they had actually been getting recommended the content. There's been people reaching out to me saying that they thought I had stopped uploading. But no, we've been releasing content as normal. They just stopped getting recommended it. And I'll show you the evidence of what's going on. There's been a change in the last few months that has caused a stark and genuinely devastating suppression of our content's reach to both new viewers and current subscribers. As a result...
Yeah, YouTube changed their algorithm recently for sure. It was really good for like a year and a half where it felt like small channels that were making like content you were likely to be interested in but didn't have a lot of views were constantly getting recommended, and I felt that in my channel, getting a lot more impressions. And I think they changed the algorithm in the last like 6 to 4 months. And now it's different because it really does seem like impression rate has dropped, which is like YouTube pushing your content to more people. It seems like YouTube might have tweaked their algorithm to recommend smaller content less.
Views are down, and revenue is the worst that it has ever been in the last 5 years. I'm not kidding. Like, when we look at the revenue where it's currently at now, the only time it's been so low, 5 years ago. And so it is quite literally only...
How much money did he make here? Jesus Christ.
Thanks to our supporters that we've been able to keep things going. And when I say keep things going, we're still in the red every single month. I'm actually losing money each month, and we are not sustainable at the moment. And with the projection of how things are going in terms of views and subscribers, it's, like I said, these are the very real signs of a channel's imminent death. Now, you might say imminent, like what's going on? Can't you just cut back costs and things like that? Making the content that...
Yeah, no, he is partially right here, though. Like, YouTube is a fickle bitch, and the best thing you can, like, unironically, the best thing he can do here is make a new YouTube channel and just, like, push every active, still watching subscriber that he's got currently on this channel to move to that channel and start going hard on it. YouTube will even boost the fuck out of that new channel with all the, like, immediate support it'll get, like, for out of the gate. So it would be like a very good fresh start for him. Because if he continues on trying to push with this channel, he clearly understands YouTube. If he continues on trying to push with this channel, what's going to happen is YouTube is going to slowly and slowly recommend his videos less and less to his active audience, you know? Like, as he uploads day by day, video by video, less and less of his sub base is going to even be told that he's uploaded, because YouTube just does that less as the channel gets older. And eventually, his average view count is going to drop lower and lower and lower to the point where when he realizes he has to jump ship, he's got so few people who are even notified by YouTube of his new upload that nobody jumps to his new channel. And he doesn't have a foundation to start off with. Literally, like, that's what he has to do. He literally has to make a new channel. He also fucked up a bunch of his, like, goodwill by going full right-wing grift channel and AI art defense bro. So let's not pretend like his quality hasn't, dropped in some way. Like, there isn't a reason for people to support him less. But to be fair, YouTube can hurt your channel a lot. Regardless of quality, it takes a lot to fight against it. But to be fair, there are old channels that do quite well. But it has to do with the name brand recognition and the fact that, like, they're going to get support just for being them, less so than YouTube recommending them. There have been countless YouTubers who were the biggest ever and then just fell off because, they just didn't keep up with YouTube's algorithm. Remember when Casey Neistat was, like, the guy? And now who the fuck is Casey Neistat, Mr. Beast in 5 years? Mr. Beast might be the one person who truly breaks and bucks this trend, but it's never happened before, so I wouldn't be surprised if in 5 years people are like, hey, remember how big Mr. Beast was? And he's, like, maybe getting a couple million views per video in, like, 5 years. Who knows? That could be the case. YouTube is so fickle. Streaming, content creation online, very fickle.
We're making cost money. There are multiple people employed here, and with where things are at and where things look to be going, because it's just been getting worse, the channel in its current state will simply not be able to exist as it is. And I will talk about options about still making content and other things, but let me show you what's going on. This is the current subscriber rate on Shadiversity for the last 90 days, and you might notice a distinct and rather abrupt drop in January, where new subscriptions to the channel simply cut off. And
same thing happened to me in January too. YouTube definitely changed their algorithm at the start of the year. Like, everybody saw, like, a massive dip in the amount of gained subs, I feel like, at the start of January. YouTube definitely tweaked their algorithm in a bad way, to be fair.
We've been dancing around the 0 mark for nearly 3 months. Or in the 3rd month now. The recently released...
I am really interested in YouTubers covering, like, statistical shit, to be fair. As much as I hate Shadiversity and I want to, like, highlight how much of a, like, dumbass he is and how much I hate his politics, I do like analyzing YouTube channels and stats and stuff like this. And so, no, he is British. His accent's not really fake. That is how he sounds, from my understanding. I'd be curious to see what videos he uploaded on the days where it marks a massive sub drop. Like, did he upload a video on this day or this day that was controversial for his fan base? Or, like, one that didn't do super well? He's a Kiwi, not British? Okay.
these videos
Shit.
in like this time period over
He's
this
Aussie.
2 to 3 month period where subscriber growth has nearly, been non-existent. The views on the content during this time has been the worst it has been in nearly like 5 years. Some videos might not look like that. There's the odd one that does well, like the reply to Veritasium, but the subscriber growth that we gain from those videos are not nearly what it should be, and the recommendation of these videos to new audiences barely are happening at all. And so the current content that we've been releasing through this time have been apocalyptically bad in regards to their reach.
And remember, these aren't even like right-wing grift videos. This is his main channel where he uploads sword videos, and these aren't bad videos. I'm gonna be honest, like, these don't look bad. A Kevlar shield, that's a cool idea. It got 102k views, but that video would have gotten like 500k views if the channel wasn't being suppressed. I actually do think this is like clear evidence of like YouTube doing something. I don't think it's like targeted channel suppression like he's claiming. I think it's a broad YouTube algorithmic change, as it always tends to be, that's like probably hurting everybody, but hurting everybody to varying degrees. I certainly am not getting hit as hard as this guy is by the changes they've made, but I've noticed a dip, but it's also kind of gotten contradicted by me getting a really big spike around that time too from unrelated things. So my dip that might have looked a lot like his had I not gotten an unrelated spike up at around the same time from a different thing.
To new audiences. Even the ones that did surprisingly well, like the carbon fiber armor video, over 300,000 views on that video, mostly coming from our regular subscriber base. But even now, more recently, recommendations even to our subscribers, especially these last 2 videos, which are 2 of the worst performing videos I've had in over 5 years, right? And they're fun, great videos. Even the videos that did well have not resulted in any large subscriber growth. And those are, like I said, the ones that did well with the subscriber base.
To be fair, I don't know if these videos... 11 days ago, he uploaded a video called How Did Veritasium Get So Much Wrong in Their Katana Video? A reply. Okay, that video did well. So you're invoking Veritasium. It's 11 days old, so that's a decent amount of views. I can see that video in a month sitting at around the same viewership as this, like, carbon fiber armor video, right? You gotta remember, this video is like a month old. This one's only 11 days old. So maybe in a month, it has 300k views, right? So you're evoking a big name in that video. You're talking about, like, you're responding to a big name. It's a long video, so it's gonna naturally get a lot of watch time. Like, this video is made to do well. This is a video that is bound to do well, like, certainly with your audience and probably with many others. Odachi versus Claymore, who wins? This video, I feel, should do well. And it did okay. It got 54,000 views in 8 days, and this will probably break 100k by the end of the month for sure. But, like, that's not a super sexy looking video, if that makes sense, right? Like, it's not a very, it's not a super hype looking thumbnail. Like, there's no fighting in the thumbnail. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be battling. It just seems like a very dry, what sword is better video. And people like what sword is better videos. They clearly do. But, like, giant swords from history did better. Like the Kevlar shield video did better. Like, an element of danger being, apparent in the thumbnails seems to immediately bring in a higher view count, right? Knife point at the chest, more views. Almost getting hit by weapons, 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 more views. This one didn't do super well despite evoking Dragon's Dogma 2. So that's surprising. But on the other hand, like, how... I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is a super appealing video. And it's only 5 days old. And this one's only a day old. So it could just, do better a couple days later. Videos just do that sometimes. And it's not even all that appealing of it. What is this title? Is the katana the hot girl of all swords? Sword personalities revealed. I get that it's like his video trend with that series or whatever, but that's not an appealing title. Like, if you wanted to make this an appealing title, you would make it like, is the katana truly the best of all swords? Is it truly, like, something along those lines? You would clickbait it. None of these videos are all that clickbaity title-wise. This one is, which is good. This one, honestly, I think he needs, like, a new SEO guy. Like, sure, YouTube definitely treats channels worse the longer they've been around uploading without, like, getting adequate viewership in their mind and consistent growth. It's more so, in YouTube's view, a channel is not worth promoting unless its growth is constant. So, a big reason why YouTubers hit these burnout phases where they stop uploading or streaming or doing whatever for, like, even weeks, and then they come back and their channel is done, like they never grow past their previous peak again, they have plateaued at best, or that's just the start of their slow decline downward, is because YouTube and many of these platforms, it's not just the short attention span of internet users, it's also the fact that YouTube, notably, I know YouTube best, judges your channel's success on whether or not it is constantly growing. If day to day, week to week, month to month, YouTube is seeing that you are constantly growing, like you've gotten 10% more subs than last month this month, you've gotten 10% more views or 20% more views, as long as you keep on having some positive percentage more views, more subs than you did the previous month, YouTube will consider that success. And they will consider that success something they want to promote more, because YouTube recognizes that success is a cyclical thing. If a video is doing well on its own, it's going to do better with their support, and that doing better makes them money. But if a video isn't doing well on its own, what's the point in supporting it with recommendations and algorithmic support and showcasing if it's not even doing well with its already existing audience? So I'm going to guess that these videos had a very low click-through rate by subs. That is to say, when subscribers of Shadiversity saw these two videos and they're recommended, they didn't click it when they first saw it. And the ones who did click it and watch it, a pretty small proportion of them apparently hit the like button or commented, because for those that don't know, YouTube pushes content far less if the like button, or the more a video is pushed, is completely determined by how much of a video's viewers engaged with it in the form of liking and commenting. So if you have like 10 viewers and 9 of them like and comment, that highly increases the chance of that video getting pushed to far more people's recommended than a video that got 1,000 views but only 1 like and 1 comment. Does that make sense?
And the videos that recently have been devastatingly bad. How does something like this happen? One assumption is that it could be a sudden spike in unsubscriptions, and the new subscribers don't replenish the ones that are lost, leading to negative subscriber growth. Well, let me show you. We have had no sudden surge in unsubscriptions. Now, when you have a channel that's over 1 million subscribers, you lose a certain amount of subscribers every day. That's a perfectly run-of-the-mill normal. And so the standard rate of people unsubscribing from the channel, well, let me show you, is completely consistent and has been for over a year. Nothing has changed on that front. The spikes that you see there, that comes from the occasional either controversy or video that a number of your subscribers don't like. And I've made a couple of those, whether it's criticizing Elden Ring or nunchucks, or I make a video on AI.
Pro criticized Elden Ring. That's an easy L. Yeah, it is interesting how it's a very consistent rate of sub loss. You know, like there's definitely some spikes up and down, but especially the last little while, it's been a pretty consistent rate. I think YouTube used to do, if we look back, it becomes very clear that YouTube used to do like very infrequent massive sub purges, where they would purge inactive subs. I honestly think YouTube has switched it up so that now, to deal with the bot problem maybe, they've started purging and unsubbing accounts daily. Because I have noticed, my friends have noticed that do YouTube, and clearly he has noticed more so than ever, that like there has been more sub loss on a daily basis on the average channel than usual. Like usually it's like, okay, you're gaining subs consistently, very rarely losing subs, and then like at the end of the month or the end of the year, every like 3 or 6 months, you get hit with a massive sub purge that like drops you a couple hundred subs maybe, and then you just kind of rebuild from there. But lately it's felt like I have to fight daily sub loss from sub purges with daily sub gain in order to keep things balanced or even get into the positive. So there's like a much more consistent daily loss of subs ever since the beginning of the year or late last year, it feels like. So I definitely see a trend here where YouTube might have made a change.
Art. Yeah, there's a number of people that leave, but that's all that happens. And it doesn't affect general, normal unsubscribe rate of the channel, which is just the average amount of people that move past the channel and are not interested in watching anymore. It's when you see a sharp decline in subscriber growth that even with the normal amount of people unsubscribing from the channel obviously results in 0 to negative subscribers coming to the channel. So this result here is not due to a wave of people suddenly wanting to leave the channel because of any disagreement that we might have over politics, AI art, or nunchucks.
This is actually a fair point, by the way. This is a fair point. These are not people. This is the rate at which new subs are coming to his channel, which realistically should not be affected by any controversy he's getting into. This is not a guy who is like destroyed his reputation with like his bad takes by any means. This is a guy who, if anything, considering his current like grift swerve he's made, should be seeing record spikes in sub growth and like an influx in right-wing chud fans at the moment, not a record drop in sub growth per day. Like, this is a very clear, like, YouTube did something, guys.
Results in 0 to negative subscribers coming to the channel. So this result here is not due to a wave of people suddenly wanting to leave the channel because of any disagreement that we might have over politics, AI art, or nunchucks, or anything like that. And I want to repeat that because that's the thing that many skeptics and critics try to deny. There has been no increase in the average amount of people unsubscribing from the channel. Even with me being more politically outspoken on my other channel, Night's Watch, what people don't seem to realize is that for every person that can't separate the fact that I'm an outspoken conservative and Christian, with the non-political content that we're making here on Shadiversity, in conjunction with that, is that Night's Watch is actually growing quite well and is bringing in new people to the audience and to my channels. It actually ends up balancing out, and there's no big controversy or thing that's happening that's causing people to...
He's not wrong here. He is seeing pretty good growth on his right-wing grift account. It is the channel where he's actually making high production value, like well-edited, well-made sword and medieval fantasy content that is doing poorly and like clearly being pushed less by YouTube. And I genuinely think it's just because it's an older channel and YouTube expects by a certain age that your channel, like, and after a certain like area. So like in YouTube's mind, if you hit 1 million subs and it takes you 5 years to hit 1 million subs, and if it takes you then over 5 years to hit 2 million subs, in YouTube's mind, you are failing as a content creator, and your channel is, like, on its way out. That kind of gives you some perspective on the type of consistent growth you have to maintain with consistent uploads and nonstop, presence on the platform in order to keep the platform happy. Oh no, he recently ruined his reputation in the HemaTube community. He recently got into a beef with Sellsword Arts where Shad was openly a slimy, dishonest piece of shit and caused like everyone who wasn't a super fan to lose what little respect they had for him. No, he's definitely like gotten himself into a lot of shit lately. That's where you can see the massive spikes in sub loss. But in the last months, he has seen a lot of sub growth on his other channel. Very little but consistent sub loss on his main channel, this one. But along with that, a bizarre, in line with those numbers, huge spike down and then plateauing out of lower sub growth per month or per day. Like, go back to early January, and it seems like the daily sub growth was quite good. But then after January 1st, it just started to spike down until now we're in, like, February, and the standard has been, for at least Shad's channel, to gain, or like honestly below, this is the line of like 0. So he is losing subs many days and sometimes gaining a couple, but he's losing them back. Now he's just losing straight up, you know? And I'm not like saying this is like, oh, feel bad for him. It's just interesting that YouTube does this, you know? It's not a very good platform.
Just leave the channel. Now, what this actually happens, okay? The result that causes this type of thing, the content itself is not getting shown to new viewers. This raises the question, why isn't the content being shown to new viewers? There must be some type of reason. Is it the quality of content? And some people have claimed that Shadiversity has changed over the years. And my answer is, well, yes, Yes, it has. That's because it was necessary due to my health, as well as it being for the better. I've been able to raise the production value of the content, and the feedback on this has been overwhelmingly positive. Remember that this sharp drop in suddenly the content not being recommended to any new viewers happened recently. It happened in January, okay? The changes I made with Shadiversity to bring on new hosts happened to...
YouTube has always implemented big changes at the start of the year, too. This is very obviously a YouTube change. Like, I mean, he doesn't, like, maybe, like, he's arguing it because he's arguing to an audience of people that don't know YouTube, but I'm a YouTuber. I know how YouTube works. He doesn't have to make the case to me. I know, I can just look at this data and I see exactly what's happening.
2 years ago, all right? And we have made some incredible content as a multi-host channel, videos that have gotten hundreds of thousands of views, ones are already nearly in the millions, videos that people have loved, and that is the content we are currently making. We're making content that people genuinely love, and that long-time subscribers on Shadiversity also really love. So the current content isn't actually the problem, and the quality that we've been pushing out has only been going up because that was one of the things I've been trying to do.
Guys, I know you want to shit talk Shadiversity. I like shit talking him too, but we are actually, he is actually he's a broken clock who is right twice a day here on this point. And wanting to discredit Shadiversity's arguments here by saying his content has gotten worse, you are also discrediting a very important point, that is, YouTube is changing their algorithm again. They don't do this often, but when they do, it is significant. It will shift the entire state of what is currently the meta on YouTube. And that's going to affect what channels you watch that are going to be successful or possibly even like fall off the face of the earth. What channels are going to be endlessly pushed, what the next Andrew Tate is going to be. Like, this is a big deal. And pretending like there isn't clear evidence here of on January 1st a change happening that resulted in a substantial drop in his channel's average sub growth per day. This is not just random, and this is not because of drama. I've seen this happen slightly with my own channel, and I've seen it happen with friends' channels that do YouTube. There was something that happened on January 1st of this year. YouTube got substantially worse for some reason when all the classic YouTubers decided to retire this year. Maybe they knew this was coming. Maybe they knew this was coming and they decided time to retire. Those old school classic YouTubers. Maybe there's a reason those old schoolers all retired this year. They knew YouTube was going to be like, every channel made before this date, we're not pushing you anymore. Make a new channel. Maybe that was a behind the scenes decision they made and they only told the OGs.
To bring back views, make better content. We've been pushing ourselves so hard to raise the quality level, but something else is happening.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe YouTube implemented a ton of AI. Maybe there was some big update to their algorithm and using AI, and this is the result. It'd be ironic if AI was Shadiversity's downfall. Holy crap.
Behind the scenes to not let our current subscribers know not only about the new content, but the old content, and not showing it to new audiences. Current click-through rates on our content are actually higher than 2 years ago. The likes versus dislikes are actually still in the high 90%. Nothing has dropped in the likes versus dislike. Feedback in the comments are overwhelmingly positive about how much they're enjoying the content. And if the content was the issue with the death spiral it looks like Shadiversity is falling into, I would have seen our content suffer a similar drop on other platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Odyssey, BitChute, and Rumble. And by the way, when we started uploading on TikTok, our content exploded. We have over 100,000 subscribers on there over a very short period of time. It grew crazy fast with millions of views, but overall, no real growth on the platforms that matter in terms of getting higher ad revenue because you don't make money on TikTok. And there was really no point in sacrificing the man hours to keep pushing on that when we're suffering on the main area that we need to focus on. Having said that, though, we do try and mirror our content on other platforms. YouTube broke mirroring on Rumble specifically, and so we haven't been able to put our content on that, but we're making active changes to now manually upload on Rumble as well. But the issue is that currently there is no viable, sustainable alternative to YouTube. We don't make money on any of these other platforms. Because even if you want to try and say that there's something different with the new content versus the old content, if you look at the most popular videos on the channel, these super popular videos are getting viewed currently a fraction, and I mean a fraction, of what they have been getting viewed 2 years ago and even 4 years ago. And by the way, that was when my channel was even vastly smaller, okay? Yet I was getting vastly higher views on these popular videos. You would think with a larger subscriber base that there would be a large amount of people to recommend these old videos to, but the new subscribers, and by the way, in the last 2 years, gained over maybe 350,000 new subscribers, and most of them do not get recommended the old content at all. To just emphasize the stark, and I mean shocking, difference and reduction that we have had in impressions currently on the channel, I want to show you the rate in which some of the most popular videos on Shadiversity get watched now versus only, a couple of years ago. And bear in mind, over the past 2 years, we have an additional 350,000 subscribers, okay? And so the channel, as is at the moment, we have a huge, that's one of the largest subscriber growth I've had in a long, like over the period, similar periods of time. So that's a huge boost of new viewers, right? Usually when you get a boost of new subscribers, there's a whole heap of backlog content that they enjoy. And as a result, these popular videos, they continually get viewed because there's a constant flow of new subscribers to watch. There's those new subscribers there.
It's so fun watching him talk about the downfall of his YouTube channel because he is such a piece of shit, but he is also bringing up a kind of important point. I really do wonder when there's going to be a massive push by big successful content creators into forcing YouTube to make the way their algorithm works more transparent. I don't think it needs to be entirely understood, but a general idea of how YouTube treats channels on a more specific level beyond just cover things your audience will be interested in, cover relevant topics, make your thumbnail catchy and your title flashy. You can do all of those things and it won't matter. If YouTube doesn't tell enough of people that you've gone and uploaded it, right? What do we as content creators have to do to make YouTube say, ooh, I want to push this out? That would be nice to know, and YouTube has deliberately kept that a secret and made it this ancient thing that you not only have to work really hard and have a lot of resources to figure out, but it constantly changes. So even once you figure out what the current meta is, the meta is going to change soon, so enjoy it while it lasts. Scalagrim is the superior sword nerd. True. I love Scalagrim. He is pretty based and much more progressive based on what I've seen of his content. I wonder how's Scalagrim's numbers looking. I wonder if we're seeing a similar. Yeah, we are. Yep, the exact same trend is happening to Scalagrim too. I bet we could probably look on every channel on YouTube and see most of them having this trend at the moment. On January, here, I'll screen share it. This is Scalagrim's Social Blade. January, 3.5 million video views in that month. Granted, we did see a massive... I bet Scalagrim deleted some old content here or something like that, or didn't upload at all this month or something. But he uploaded clearly and did quite well here. January passes, we see a big drop, and then that plateau that we saw in Shadiversity's numbers. And obviously here, because he gets 10,000 sub things, every 10k subs it'll update, we can see that I mean, this could be good news, it could be bad news, you can't really tell. Social Blade can't really tell you how much of a good or positive change there's been with margins this big, but it's hard to say. But yeah, there has been a bit of a plateau, not a catastrophic one, but a noticeable one on the charts for Scalagrim, who is the much better, in my opinion, sword content creator, medieval society and history creator. There's just been a change at YouTube. It feels like YouTube's trying to have a bit of an out with the old and in with the new moment. They're trying to have a little bit of how there's there'll be an old growth forest and firefighters have to set a controlled burn in the forest to burn away all the dead and old rotting matter so that the new stuff can grow. I feel like that's what YouTube is trying to do right now. They're let's fiddle fuck with the algorithm a bit to sort of change up the meta, push away a lot of old, not so relevant right now content, and create a new meta and promote newer channels, making newer content, newer trends. I think it's just YouTube trying to make things more about what's new, what's current, what's now. Why don't they focus on dead channels? YouTube? It's not valuable for them to. Like, why would they? New isn't necessarily better. It's more profitable, though, Warthog Muncher. That's the thing. Google only cares about making money now in the short term. That's the big flaw of capitalism.
But they're not getting recommended the content. Here is my most popular video I've ever made. Over 7 million views on this one. And in the past month, it has had 2.4 thousand views. During this same time period, let's go back 2 years, but in the exact same time period, 2 years ago, 2022. Over that same time period, that video had 16.9 thousand views. Just compare that. 2.4 to 16.9.
I mean, 2 years ago is pretty far back to, like, convince people. I would just go back, like, 6 months. Going back 6 months ago and then showing off the fact that it changed barely between... Maybe showing off 2 years ago, then 6 months ago, and showing it barely changed, and then showing 6 months ago to today, it's changed massively, would be a better way of demonstrating how much YouTube has dropped their recommendations for the video.
Now, let's compare that to 2020, another 2 years. So this is 4 years ago, and have a look at how much this video got viewed 4 years ago. 72,000 views. This is a great video that heaps of people enjoy watching, that now is barely getting recommended at all, not even to my own new subscribers. That would.
Well, I mean, this is long known. The older a video is, it doesn't matter how viral and amazing it is. The older a video is, the less it gets recommended. There's a reason why Charlie Bit My Finger isn't #1 on trending forever, right? Because, you know, eventually even newer generations don't really care about it anymore, right? So newer people who might be into this video, and they're just like, 5-year-old video, 6-year-old video, I don't care.
Love this content, this video, but it's not getting recommended. And please bear in mind, YouTube as a platform keeps growing. It has its user base is larger than it has ever been before. Okay, there are entire new generations of people coming to YouTube that very well would love this content, but it's not getting shown to them. And this isn't the only one, by the way. My second most popular video, if we look at the views of the last 680 views over the last month. And then, if we were simply to go back 2 years, that same video, 4.3 thousand views over that same period. And then if we were to go back another 2 years, so this is now 4 years ago, that same video, 35,000 views.
Well, he also has to consider the fact that, like, he may be gaining subs, but, like, the percentage, he's gaining new subs at a slower rate, which means there's a lower amount of people per month who are likely to click on the video. That's not so much, like, this isn't so much evidence of what's happening, so much as a symptom of what's happening. You've already proven the problem, which is the low sub growth per day, which is a result of a lower rate of recommendations among your own subs and new people, which you can also prove with the data, you know?
YouTube is barely recommending great content that's in people's backlog that their own subscribers would love to see. I have all these new subscribers, doesn't get recommended, and now they're barely getting recommended the current videos. Last 2 videos, like I said, apocalyptically bad. You have a look at the amount of impressions.
I wonder what the comments on this video are like. I've come to realize that I watch YouTube differently than most. I hardly ever look at the recommendations page. I always scroll through my subscriptions and click on each channel individually to see what videos they have. This leads me to never miss a new video from any of my new subscriptions. Something I've recently noticed is how aggressively YouTube started flooding recommendations with a single topic. If you watch a few videos about gaming on a few consecutive days, for example, your recommendations page will very quickly exclude anything else but gaming. So unless you make a concerted effort to diversify the topics you watch, YouTube will simply wipe any recommendations of it until you actually search for it. The average person won't do this or even know about it. One problem with YouTube and channels is that they continuously spam a single video from 2 years ago that you've already watched. It's hard to not just start ignoring that channel. True, YouTube needs to start recommending different videos from the same channel if after like 1 or 2 times a person doesn't click it. Stop incessantly recommending the same videos. I don't like it, both as someone who has it happen to me and someone whose videos probably has it happen to other people. And like the only video from me they ever see recommended is that same one they don't want to watch, and eventually they just stop watching me because it's the only thing YouTube will recommend. I've noticed all of that. Yeah. I think these are changes that... Have you noticed these changes primarily in the last, like, 3 months? Because I definitely noticed this. Stopped at 1 minute and can confirm. Last time I've seen something from your channel when I casually opened YouTube in the morning was around 3 weeks ago, and it was a significant gap before that either. May not be what you want to hear, but for at least a year, I have felt like your videos have gotten more childish / TikTok-esque and less historically focused. I rewatch your older videos, but the new ones feel like they're scripted / designed by Gen Z incels. Oh, what a fucking burn. I'm liking that comment. IDK if I have 100 notifications, but let me know when someone I follow uploads. YouTube, no. Ironically, a video like this gets pushed right to the front page. Not only that, YouTube keeps pushing notifications for creators that I don't follow. It's frustrating for us too. I'm shocked how small of a percentage of YouTube actually uses the subscriptions tab. This has been happening for a lot of channels. YouTube has been testing their algorithm again. We just gotta pray it will stabilize sooner or later. That's really the matter of things. Bad times will always come with YouTube, and whether or not you're able to adapt is whether or not you make it to the good times again, you know? YouTube's just the internet is a naturally unstable place to make a living. Hopefully, out of this, we end up losing a grifter like Shadiversity, or maybe he'll realize that he needs to stop with the dumbass political content and go back to what he started off with, making those good, down-to-earth sword videos. Be a sword nerd again. Be a likable, nerdy sword guy without any hate in your heart, and we'll like you again. And stop talking about weird Christian shit, too. That'll probably help, too. But yeah, if you want to help keep my channel from going the way of Shadiversities, consider dropping a like. It definitely helps a lot, considering how weird YouTube is about engagement and whatnot. Also, consider commenting down below. And if you want to, you can subscribe and ring the bell icon if YouTube if that even matters on YouTube these days. I don't even know anymore. And yeah, regardless of how you support me, I appreciate you watching the video. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed. How do you guys like that segment? I feel like it came out pretty good. Every day is a good day to laugh at Shadiversity falling the fuck off. Seggy's Skibbity Toilet. Alrighty. That is all our topics for the day, guys. I think we'll do a nice little cooldown before I wrap up stream. Unfortunately, we will not be doing a watch party tonight. Peepo Sag, Peepo Sag. Can we name the scrolls? Nah, they're just scrolls. Alrighty. What nice little cooldown bit can we do? Wait, no shot. Wait, what the fuck is this in my recommended? Okay, we're watching a bit of this. From Cut. Does my dad only date black women? Truth or drink? Cut. Dude.
Fetishize black people. What? Do you fetishize black people?
Let me read the question.
You can also say no.
No, because
oh no. Oh no.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. Who are you two and how do you know each other?
I'm Isaiah, this is my dad.
Dude, imagine being like the whitest guy in Whitesville and you have a mixed race son who just asks you with a straight face and you're on camera. And you just like, do you fetishize black people? And so you have a black wife and a black son, and they're both able to fuck with you. Like, goddamn, that's gotta be rough. They're both able to fuck with you because you're a white boy. Oh, that's gotta be non-stop source of entertainment. Oh, goddamn. Oh no. That's so funny, getting confronted with this question and having to answer it. Either truth or drink. Is the idea that you either tell the truth or you drink, or how's this work? Weird? Why are you weirding me? Have you never, like, met or been friends with a black person before? Because if you had, you'd know that, like, in the same way that, like, we make jokes about white people, haha, white people, you're gonna get memed on. And it's funny. Never had that happen to you before? Because you're white? You kind of get, like, memed with a little bit? No? That's surprising to me. Maybe you're just not cool enough. Are you not in? You're not in. You're just not in.
Damien.
Sorry, I can't get you in.
I'm Aaliyah.
I can't get you in.
Father.
Why are you saying it's so weird?
This is my mother. So I was spit out of her vagina.
What is your ethnicity?
African American and Caucasian.
I am black and white.
My dad is Indian and my mom is black.
My mother is white, mixed European descent, and my father is Filipino, Asian descent.
Do we want to start with a shot?
I'll start with a shot.
No, I actually
I
don't
just want
drink,
to see
so
the
I'm
first
planning on
question
telling
for
the
each
truth every time.
pairing.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Cheers to being black and liking black men, I guess. Okay, what are some mixed kid stereotypes? Like mixed kids almost feel like they're better than everybody.
Sometimes we can be looked at as soft. Too white for the black kids, too black for the white. Just that identity crisis.
Right.
That we're whitewashed, but you're not even white, so that doesn't even really apply in that sense, but I've gotten that before.
Like mixed folks are really...
I feel like too many people just immediately think mixed means white and not white. But like, that encompasses many groups of people, and that doesn't just include white, like half white too. So like, I do feel there's a little erasure there, even within mixed race sort of discussions, you know? Like, we almost immediately like have this American focus, like, oh yeah, mixed race, like a black parent and a white parent. But that doesn't, like, one parent doesn't have to be white. And one parent doesn't even have to be black. There are many combos. There are many groups of people and many combinations. It's like it's like mixing and matching like Fortnite skins with back blings and pickaxes. You know, like you pick like a skin from your Fortnite locker, and you pick a back bling, and then you pick your glider, and you pick your light. Yeah, you guys get what I'm saying.
Beautiful.
I did hear that a lot when you guys were kids too. Ah, best of both worlds.
Tell me the most racist thing you've ever done, or take a shot.
It's racist that I threaten you guys that you're not white.
What?
I mean, the fact that I'm like, you're lucky you're not a white kid running around here right now. You know, I could have been dating a white guy instead of a black guy.
She's so embarrassed she's not properly telling the story, I think. I want to hear what she says. Like, I want to hear what she says.
They be trying to clown me all the time. Oh, white, you're white, mom. Like, you could be white too. You know, like,
be grateful.
I could have slept with Jim over there, okay?
Jim instead of Tyrone, my bad, okay?
Tell me the most racist thing you've ever done, or take a shot.
I don't know. Can I pass?
Oh, he doesn't. Can I pass? No, he doesn't wanna.
Is pass not an option?
No, you take a sip.
You gotta drink.
This is my favorite pairing by a long shot. This is my favorite pairing.
Oh, gee. I'll drink up.
I remember one time when we went to a restaurant, and I'd called ahead to make sure they would take my credit card. And we got there and we ate, and I went to pay with the credit card, and the Chinese lady at the cashier said, "Oh, we don't take a credit card." And I said, "Well, I don't have cash on me. And she says, you go to the bank, you go to the bank. And I started talking about her like that. You go to the bank, you go to the bank. And I said, no, it's not okay. And she's like, yes, yes, yes. And I was portraying it to people when I got home, how irritated I was with her. And I was speaking about her in that ridiculous accent. She didn't sound like that. I was making her sound like that. And I think it was one of you girls who pointed out to me how racist that was. And I was so ashamed because I didn't even think of it as being racist.
So,
fucking boomers, man. Like, I actually believe her, like, 100% she didn't even think about that as being racist. Because boomers are truly that ignorant. You have to remember, there is a difference between ignorance and hate. Ignorance can breed hate, but ignorance is not hate, and it is far easier to combat than hate. Because ignorance is just lack of knowledge, lack of exposure, lack of experience. If you provide the experience, you can destroy and eliminate ignorance. But if you allow the ignorance to fester into hate, hate is far, far harder to reverse.
Do you feel comfortable saying the N-word? Why or why not?
Ooh.
I do. Ooh. I grew up saying it with some of my friends, and we say it to each other more endearing.
I want to know the real questions. Did he give his dad the pass? Are you a bad son if you don't give your dad the pass? I want to know. I have to know the answer to these questions. I do. I have to know. All right, these are questions I must have answered. Does that make you a bad son? Does it make you a bad father for wanting the pass? I would argue yes. Are you a bad dad if you ask for it or even want it? Are you a bad dad if you accept it, if offered? Is it a test? Is it a test of your fatherhood?
Terms.
Sure. Be like me calling one of my friends.
You're not allowed to use it, obviously, but do you get it? That's the question. No, obviously you don't use the pass, but getting it is what matters.
Dude?
It's very similar.
Similar to that?
Yeah.
I do feel comfortable saying the N-word because I'm black. You know, I don't identify as half white or mixed race or biracial. I've just always identified as black. Even still, it's not something that I say very flippantly.
I feel like whether or not you can, quote unquote, say the N-word is kind of determined on, like, if you're hanging out in a place where there are many black people that don't know you and you dropped the N-word, hard R or soft A, would the way you said it, how you look saying it, and them glancing at you from a distance immediately result in a kind of reaction or just a who cares kind of reaction? Unfortunately, a lot of it is just, are you going to cause a social upset from people that do not know you for the most part by saying that? So yeah, and we're talking about people who are like mixed race and might, like, some might say, oh, you're not actually black, you can't say that, and it's like, but I am, but I am actually. Like, if you are sure it's not going to lead to a situation like that, then you can say it. It's pretty much the standard, is my understanding.
Feel comfortable saying the N-word?
I don't think I've ever said it, like, really ever.
Do you feel uncomfortable saying it though? Like if you said it right
Me
now.
too.
I don't really want to.
so
I guess I do feel uncomfortable.
I always see that as more of a derogatory term
It is a
that people
derogatory
use.
term.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not appropriate in the family or outside.
No, I disagree with you on that.
Okay.
I think that if you are black, you are allowed to say it.
Okay.
But you know, that's where we.
Okay.
Does it ever bother you when I embrace my other race and culture more than yours?
No, not at all. Actually, I love it. I've actually really enjoyed watching that development over the last 10.
He's so fucking white. I actually, like, his voice, okay? His voice is like, if you got a character in a cartoon meant to be the whitest guy ever. And it's just, I love it. I love it.
I think that if you are black, you are allowed to say it.
Okay.
But you know, that's where we.
Okay.
Does it ever bother you when I embrace my other race and culture more than yours?
No, not at all.
What white culture is there? Like, white people don't have a culture. What would he be embracing? Like, what?
Actually, I love it. I've actually really enjoyed watching that development over the last...
There is no white culture. White is a skin color. Like, the reason why there's a black culture in America is that if you have dark skin, there's a good chance that you, your family, and your lineage have a fairly shared experience that can be united and identified with. But if you're white in America, that does not by any means mean that you have a shared white experience in America. There's some level of privileges that are shared, but most white Americans, like, more so identify with, like, I'm German, I'm Irish, I'm British, like, on a more fundamental level. There isn't, like, Irish white people in America don't feel like they're part of the same group most of the time as, like, an Italian white person in America. So there isn't really a unified culture in the same way that you might say there's a unified American black culture. And there definitely is not a unified black culture across different countries. Like, a black person in America is very different than a black person in the UK, just like a white person in America is very different from a white person in the UK. If you take a white and a black person from America, just randomly take them together and send them on an all-expenses-paid trip to Ireland or the UK, they're going to experience culture shock even when interacting with people that are the same race as them. Same skin color. Because they have different cultures. They're going to get along better and have more... They're going to become friends and be attached to each other because they're going to be the most familiar with each other, more so than anyone of the same skin color that they meet in another country. They're going to quickly become bound. And I'm talking about countries where they share a language. It's going to be an even stronger example of this if they don't share a language in whatever country you drop them both off in.
Last 10 to 15 years, it's been actually really cool. For example, I haven't seen him for a while, for a couple months. I noticed...
What? Oh, the two gyms?
Your tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just noticed it maybe 15 minutes ago, and I was thinking, man, that is really cool. I love it.
Yep.
Does it ever bother you when I am...
He's nice. I like him. I love that pairing. I'm going to watch this video in my own time. I obviously don't want to rip the whole thing on my stream. I feel like here's a good place to start wrapping things up. Yeah, he kind of reminds me of a joyful Jordan Peterson who's not hateful and racist. So true. Anyway. God, Americans turn so fucking cringe when they start talking about race? What? I think it's more so that Europeans become Nazis when they talk about race. What are you fucking talking about, dog? Merv? Can we get a translation? I don't know. Anyway, if you enjoyed this stream, I hope you did. Drop a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon, comment down below. You guys know what to do. Your support is what makes the dream work. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, thank you for your support, thank you for watching, and have a damn good one. Bye-bye. Doo-doo fart. Oh, no stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off, guys. I streamed yesterday, I streamed today, then I take tomorrow off, but I'll be streaming the next 2 days after tomorrow, so be there or be square.